Oh, dear.
Okay, are you ready? What are you doing?
I am ready.
How ready? Like, do you want to lead us in?
No.
All right. Oh, I don't either. I got a bad joke right off the hop. Well, it's hard to believe.
No, I'm
It's
out
autumn
here.
already. Yeah, that joke just kicked off the whole show. Welcome to another episode of Oh Dear, presented by Bo's Bar and Stage, coming to you, I was going to say live, but not live, coming to you about at least a week ago from Communal Creative Studios in the heart of downtown Red Deer. Episode 17 of Oh Dear, sponsored by the Red Deer Firefighter calendar, which of course is a great fundraiser for the Red Deer Firefighters Children's Charity. So we're going to talk to a couple firefighters later on in the show. Calendar photographer Stephen Underhay and 2022 calendar model Aaron's man rocket of a husband, Griff Marshall. We won't really say anything more about that until the interview because there's lots of stuff to talk about there. I am Ted Emmett. Happy to be back here once again, hanging out with all these wonderful people I'm privileged to call my friends. And 2 weeks in a row, yeah, there's no punchline there. I'm in a good mood tonight, so I'm going to be nice, at least for now, because we know it's coming later on. So, across the table from me is Mr. Dad Bod 2020, and I promise that's a good thing. Dustin Moore, how's it going?
Oh, I like that, Teddy. I'm loving the start to the night. We had me and Kev carpooled down here. We had a lovely lady from downstairs let us in tonight. We gave her a beer. She was super excited. The one thing I will say, we're skipping Thursday night football tonight, which I really wanted to watch, but I'm 0-4 in one fantasy football league and 4-0 in the other. So all the fantasy footballers out there, I hope you're having a good time.
Yeah, all you footballs out there.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great night and you're fully inflated.
Hey, Arnold.
Wow, that was okay. This is a good start. And Kevin, this is a compliment too, but you really pissed me off at this photo shoot because you looked absolutely incredible. Could be in the calendar. So Kevin Walsh, how's it going?
Thanks, Ted. I don't know if I would have made the calendar, but I feel like if there was a B level, I'd be there. And then you guys would be there too.
And to give you credit, though, you have been working on your body too.
Yes.
Yeah, you cheated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had a good team of lubers. Anyways, we'll get into all that. That's all I'm going to say for that. And so last but not least, to my right, as well, I guess not as always, but tonight at least, it is Honorary Junior Deputy Fire Chief Ryan Lund. How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. I think I'm inspired to start a new career, modeling, not firefighting. That seems like too much work. So, yeah, this might be my last podcast. I think I'm going to pursue modeling full time next week. So, cheers, boys.
Of course, all the way over on the couch, I guess maybe her permanent spot now, is coworker Aaron. You got to sit back and watch that magic, and you get to do it again tonight.
Yeah, hey, I love watching you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, well, buckle in. This is going to be a pretty mediocre night. And as always, rounding out our weird little crew here in the studio, as always, Ryan and Riley from Communal Creative Studios, keeping things rolling for us. We have a lot to say about these guys later on in the show too, especially Riley. That's going to come after our firefighter interview. So we do have lots to get to in this episode, and at least half of it is actually pretty good content. So let's get to it. Get right into the Glad game.
I'll kick us off here.
No, you won't.
Just relax.
Oh,
The Glad Game is brought to you by Louis Corriveau of Warren Sinclair, LLP, a Central Alberta law firm dedicated to helping all its clients achieve their business and personal goals. Learn more at warrensinclair.com.
I just want to say, because we kind of missed the opportunity to say this, but Louis actually was our first partner to renew with us after all his ad reads were up. So thank you, Louis. Busy guy right now too. Has a really young boy, so I don't think we said congratulations either on the birth of your son. So thank you, Louis, and congratulations.
just a quick note on Louis. He's got a lot going on in his personal life, like you say, but he also spearheaded one of our committees on the Piper Creek Optimist Club. This is the first year that we decided to give out a scholarship to a high school kid that is going to post-secondary education. So, like I said, busy guy, and he's still finding the time to give back to the community. So, way to go, Louis.
All right, I guess I'll kick off the glad game. I'm just pretty glad. I'm really glad for all the candidates that are running in our municipal election. I guess we're all getting to that age where we know someone personally that's running. So I'm not going to name drop anybody, but October 18th, get out to vote for sure. Yeah, do your research, read up on who you want to vote for it. But big shout out to everybody that's got the guts to run for a position.
That's a really good one, Lundy. Mine's a little bit more personal. We're coming off Teachers Appreciation Day, I believe. But one of our good friends in this room, Josh Keith, who's a vice principal, and I get to work with him now in my actual job and getting some mentors into his school. And he has just done such a bang up job with that. And we all know him as pretty much the nicest human being in the entire planet. And Josh, thank you to you. I'm glad for you. And I'm glad that you come to our golf tournament every year because you bring me much entertainment.
So a few weeks ago, the four of us got to golf in the first annual PAP Charitable Foundation tournament, I believe is what it's called. I think we all had a great time. It was a great day. I know for three of us growing up here in Red Deer, we were close with the PAP family through the years. I was blown away by just the amount of people. Like we had 144 golfers, which is a very full field, especially for a late September golf tournament and the first annual. And it was kind of cool to see a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time. It was almost like a mini high school reunion. But more than that, it was about being there for someone we all knew, Brandon Papp, and his family. And the proceeds to the tournament went to the Canadian Mental Health Association, which I think is more important now than ever. And it's only going to get to be a bigger problem. So they raised over $20,000, maybe even, 30 or more. So great first year for the tournament. I know we all had a ton of fun and I'm really looking forward to next year.
And just to build off that too, because all four of us did play in the tournament and did not play together in the 2-man scramble, which I thought was great. Me and Kevin got to play with two guys we went to high school with. And the thing that blew me away the most was the organizing committee and the actual foundation board that they have set up, how much time and effort and how many volunteers they had the day of. They didn't play in the tournament. They drove around, made sure everyone was having a good time. And so even if I think there was 15, 20 volunteers, so that could have been, add those in, that's over 165 people at the course helping out for that tournament. So, and then obviously we got to go to Bo's after and have some more cocktails at Bo's and ended up being an awesome night.
I think on that note too, my first thing I'm glad about now that we're talking about this is new friends, because Lund and I, we got paired up with two ladies we'd never met before. Hopefully new listeners of the podcast. So Smashley and Kayla, had a great time with them, and thanks for putting up with us. And Lund, thanks for being a good partner that day.
Yeah, you too. Right back at you, big guy. Just for those people listening at home, Smashley isn't her name. That's just a cool nickname she gave herself after she crushed a drive. So, hopefully you two girls are doing well, and hopefully you're listening.
Now, my other thing for the Glad game, this is actually just something from the news, and something I was surprised didn't really get a little more attention, but with everything negative going on right now, was the province recently announced some money going to a really good spot. It's $5 million, you guys may have heard of this, to the Driving Back to Work program. So it's going to get 500 unemployed Albertans the chance to obtain their Class 1 driver's license. So it's the second phase of it. It was first approved in 2020, so there was 101 people on the wait list that didn't get to do it the first time around, plus 400 more. I think it covers $9,000 of the $10,000 of the program. And yeah, something I didn't know, there's supposed to be a big shortage of almost 4,000 commercial drivers in the next 2-3 years. So that's just something I think, again, it gets kind of buried in the news and a huge opportunity for people right now who are out of work and having a hard time finding a job, because a $10,000 program is probably not in the cards when you're unemployed. And it's a great career, a steady career where you can make some good money. So I don't think we've been applauding the province much lately, and this is just one opportunity to do so.
Good one. I had not heard of that, so really cool.
So I'm going to fire off two more really quick ones just because I think there's a lot of good news out there. We posted about it, but Nikki and her daughter Jada Monolaws, who, Jada does the cupcake fundraiser every year, just got recognized by a big-time bank as just huge community supporters, which is great to see. There's lots of people out there like those two who do great work in the community and sometimes a little underappreciated. So congratulations to them. And something I saw, quite honestly, before I left to come here tonight, Matt Cassidy from Beyond Insurance is the new executive director of the Red Deer Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, wow.
So old news by the time it comes out. But again, congratulations to a guy. We just had him on the show, and I think everyone can see how much he cares about the community and the business community. So lots of things to be glad about there, but just wanted to fire them all off and get this night started on the right note.
Now, do you think his appearance on our podcast pushed him over the edge and gave him that presidency? Like the Oh Dear podcast bump?
I heard he was in a dead heat with someone else.
And then we put him over the top.
And we gave him the exposure, and then the selection committee was like, man, this guy's really well spoken.
Yeah, so for all you out there that need a little push in your professional lives or personal lives, come on our podcast and we'll put you over the edge. We'll give you that little extra something that you need to get a promotion, to get elected, to get a raise.
Oh no, we're not having any people on for the election. No politics.
To get a wife, to win the lottery, just whatever you need, we'll do it.
The wife thing is untrue because I'm 17 episodes in.
Ted, we're not miracle workers here, buddy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do like the saying, "Oh dear bump," though. You're welcome, Matt.
I hope we get invited to his post-election party. So,
yeah. And I'll tell you one thing: no one has come on this show and then just had their career completely ruined afterwards. Yeah. So we got that going for us.
Not yet.
Yeah, good job editing, man.
Yeah. Hey, great edition of the Glad game. And I guess before we go any further, because there's a lot to talk about our day with the Firefighter calendar, and we're going to want to talk about it through the rest of the show. So let's roll into the interview. Like we said off the top, this episode is sponsored by the Red Deer Firefighters calendar. They invited us out. Erin's husband, actually, Griff, really kind of started this whole thing, which we really appreciate, and asked us to be a part of this and help them promote the calendar. So we sat down with him and photographer Steven, and Griff was, not only is he a calendar model this year, I think he was our model coach this year too. He did a great job. So we ended up making a special announcement way earlier than we intended. But if you don't go on social media or don't follow us, first of all, that's not very nice. But second of all, you are going to get to hear this announcement for the first time. So here we go. Hey, just before we go, because just so we can say in here, what month are we going to be in the calendar?
Let's roll it.
All right, well, we have Ted, Dustin, and Lieutenant Lund here all lubed up and hanging out in front of the charity fire engine here for the Red Deer Firefighters Children's Charity, here with Firefighters Griff Marshall, otherwise known as coworker Erin's husband, and Stephen Underhay. So guys, thanks for having us here today. I know we have a bit of a reason for being here that we'll get into in a second, but it was a pretty fun day. Cool to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Thanks, man. This is a great way to spend my Sunday.
So you guys have your firefighter calendar coming up right away here. And so we came out, you said, hey, we've got an open month. You guys can audition for it. We did not pass the audition, but we can let you guys make the announcement that you guys have given us a pretty cool job, though, to help out with this calendar and the charity that it goes towards.
Yeah, you guys pretty good honorable mentions, I think. Maybe the 2029 calendar, if we get a little low on the talent pool, we'll get you guys
We'll be
in.
Smart in the calendar, yeah.
Yeah, no, the charity calendar, it's something we do every couple of years. We try and raise a bunch of money for our Red Deer Firefighters Children's Charity. It's all a local charity that has been in the department for a long time, and this is one of our big money makers. So it's huge community support, and we're pretty happy to be part of it, I think.
And so you guys have your calendar launched to a party that raises even more money, and you sounds like you got pretty desperate for hosts for that party.
Yeah, I guess we'd like to make a special announcement that we're going to have the Oh Dear podcast hosting the big event. It's going to be a super sweet year. I'm looking forward to it.
What?
Hey, what number were we on the list to host?
I learned to never ask that question.
We don't want to do
you don't
the
want
disservice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair.
That's like when someone invites you golfing, right? And you say, hey, well, who'd you ask first? What? Who cares? You're golfing.
That's a good point. I'm really looking forward to that night. I know I've known a couple firefighters that have been in the calendar previously, and it's a rocking night for you guys, and you guys raise a ton of money. So I'm extremely excited to be a part of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to put on some weight so I don't put some of those firefighters to shame that night. So I'll do my best.
I'm really looking forward to sharing the stage with you guys.
Yeah, so Griff, you were in the calendar this year.
I was, yeah.
And Steven, you take the photos as well. And we did come out, we did a fun photo shoot today. And I wasn't joking when I said we're lubed up. I mean, we even sent Erin on a lube run because we didn't have enough. So that's a real life struggle of being a part-time model, I guess. But so Steven, I don't know what we put you through today. Was it kind of the same with the other firefighters, or was this just a whole different can of worms?
I think you guys were a little higher maintenance than most of the models, but you can never have too much lube in a firefighter calendar, I think. So, no, it was awesome. We got to use our charity engine here, and I think we're going to rep it. I think it'll be sweet.
So can you guys let us know where you got this bad boy from? Did you guys purchase this charity engine? Was it given to you? Was it donated, or is it or did someone build it?
A little bit of background. It's a 1975 GMC truck. It was donated to us by, I think, Kip Scott. I'd have to double check that.
That's what it says on the back.
That's what it says on the back. We've had it in our possession for a little bit. 2 years ago, there was a bit of an incident. The whole thing caught on fire. I'm not sure when you guys were crawling around up there, you could see some old burn marks and stuff. So there's a couple of our captains and our lieutenants who are pretty mechanically inclined. They took the whole thing apart, stripped it, rebuilt the engine, painted it all up, put all the new decals on it, and it runs like a charm. It's a really cool truck to drive.
Did they put out the fire before they did all? Like you left out that part. I assume
we got some live fire training here. At,
Just a really small electrical fire.
And Griff, I know, and I think these guys can attest. I think I've been doing sit-ups since, well, at least yesterday to prepare for this. Like, so going through, I think everyone knows when you prepare for this calendar, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of discipline. And I'm not going to lie, when I saw a sneak peek of your photo and I almost quit this photo shoot. So what goes into that?
I found out about the shoot probably about 2 weeks ago and just show up as is. No.
Yeah, Lund's too. Yeah.
Plus a lot of Photoshop.
Yeah, plus a lot of Photoshop. No, it was a lot of fun. We sent out emails around Christmas time, I think it was. The committee got together and they picked the 12 individuals. There's 11 guys and 1 girl in the calendar this year. It's been a real blast. Like, it's always a competition, like a healthy competition between all the guys and the members. And you're always pushing each other and giving each other a hard time, motivating each other in the gym, and then just see the final results. Everybody looks amazing. It's everybody put in some really hard work, and they've definitely seen some awesome results.
So when you say they picked the 12 months, is it by application or is it just kind of like, how does that process work?
You just try really hard to get 12 people willing to put their bodies through that. There's mostly begging, I think, is what it comes down to get the 12. No, every year people are ready to step up and put in 6-8 months of work for this thing. It's a ton of work that they go through, and so it's incredible. But yeah, we try and stick to the young guys, stick to the guys that don't have kids, and the guys that don't work too hard, so they can put a little effort into something else.
Yeah, Griff.
I'm all of those.
So Griff, what do you know what month you got, or is that yet to be determined?
That's a political discussion that we've yet to have.
Is there a month that you want though?
I would like to have a month with 31 days. And be at the first half of the calendar, I think. That's all the Googling I've been doing. That's the primo spot to be.
So if we were to make the calendar, we'd obviously be February, without a doubt, right? The shortest month.
In a leap year.
Yeah, 29.
Schmarch.
Yeah, we're taking bids right now for who gets what month. So the most cash they can do, they get the pick. So,
well, I think Griff came out after a night shift on a Sunday. It was great. He helped me lift that ridiculous fire extinguisher that I had in my photo. So I think that's got to give you, yeah. I mean, we did it together. I don't think either one of us could have done it alone, but
teamwork. That's what we push that on the department here.
So Stephen, you're the photographer of the calendar, and you showed us some shots of the behind the scenes. Do you have any funny stories of, well, I know we had a lot of laughs here today with 3 overweight men and taking our pictures, but
and Walsh.
Yeah, and Walsh
had to go, but I fucking hate that guy. He looked good.
So is there any, funny stories you can share from behind the scenes of the actual calendar shoot?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's always a riot, right? It's, 12 of your best friends, pretty much everybody hanging out and having a lot of fun. One of the guys, it's kind of the first time we've ever actually opened up a fire hydrant. So, we're just on the street hanging out one evening, and you got a lot of looky-loos. It was right across the street from Good Life. So we got a lot of people honking horns and hanging out. So we were all kind of flexing the guns, and some gal pulled in, and one of the committee guys is like, "Whoa, who's that hot babe?" And that was the guy in the calendar's girlfriend coming to hang out. So bit of a tense moment, but we got through it.
And where does today rank? Because we're in the parking lot here, adjacent RCMP station, and the officers are coming in now. We have Lund walking around in his underwear. Is this the weirdest one you've done so far?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, finding enough locations or finding all the right locations is like a pretty big mission. This ranks up there for sure. It's all about how you take the picture, I think. We just try and disclude all the cars and the cops crying instead of applying. They just wish they could be part of it, I think.
Well, I think Lundy might have a warrant out for his arrest because he looks like he put some mascara in his mustache and tried to disguise himself.
No, I just grew this yesterday, and I think it turned out really well. Like in my humble experience of being a male model, it's all about owning the moment and having no fear. and taking your pants off when you want to take your pants off.
Yeah, well, and I think there's a warrant out for your arrest for at least
For
one
being
stolen
too sexy?
at least one stolen gym sock, maybe two.
Yeah, for stealing too
and
many
I think I know
hearts.
where to find
I
it.
think he smuggled it to a few photos there. I think.
It was chilly out there today.
And actually, you know what?
Never known.
We have beautiful. It's October 2nd. Third, we have beautiful weather, and and I have to say because we're wearing some of the gear here, and it is hot. So you gain an appreciation for that too, because you guys as firefighters, you go out, wear it all weather. We had a hot summer too. So I think I can see why guys like Dustin and I and Lund are not firefighters, and you guys are, because you obviously have to be in pretty good shape and take some heat. No pun intended.
Oh man, a few of these shoots, we're hanging out in like 5-6 degrees. Everybody's freezing, wrapped up in parkas, and then the models are just sweating buckets, getting into it maybe a little too much. But yeah, it's crazy. So we're pretty fortunate we were able to shoot when we did. We got lucky with the weather and the light and stuff, so it worked out pretty good.
I think my shoot wrapped up at like 9 p.m. or something like that. And I was sweating buckets and everybody was wearing jackets and I was ready to go for another half hour. I was cooking.
Pitch black.
How is it wearing those suits in the summertime when like this summer, especially when it was plus 35 degrees outside, sun's just beaming down on you and you got no choice but to put it on?
It gets a little soupy.
Yeah. Like, do you have multiple suits or do you just have your one suit that you gotta keep clean?
Yeah, 2 sets, usually 2 sets of gear. If you've been here for a little bit, we try, I think 5 years, and then you get a second set and you kind of cycle through. So, if you get a fire, then it's got to get washed and inspected and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's crazy. It's come a long way. They've gotten a lot lighter, but they're certainly not, you guys know, they're not light by any means, and they don't let a lot of air out or in. So yeah, you just got to kind of build up your heat tolerance, I think, a little bit and get used to it.
Yeah, I think I own these pants now. I don't think you guys want them back.
There's a lot of your DNA is in the inside of those pants.
Yeah.
So we've just gone through the photo shoot. Let's just pretend we're in the calendar. What's next? Like, what's next for the group this year? Where does this go? When does the calendar come on sale? Give us some information on that.
Yeah, so once the actual shooting's done, we get all the edits through, then we start to work with the committee and the charity to kind of put everything together. We work with a local sponsor, Minuteman Press over here, and they put everything together for us. We get a quick proof, and then we fit all the sponsors in and that kind of stuff. And once we're happy with that, then we kind of send it off to the presses, and then we've got our big launch night.
So the launch night will be on November 6th. It's going to be at Bose. It's going to be an awesome party. I'm really looking forward to it. Basically, we're going to have all the guys that are in the calendar. They're going to get up on stage, and there's going to be a little bit of a show, and hosted by you guys. So it'll be a huge event in that manner. And
hey, lay off our bodies, man.
You don't have much competition.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, except
for all the firefighters.
except for these guys, I guess.
Because of COVID this year, we got to get a little creative, and I guess this year 2021. So we're gonna be able to sell it online. So we have a website that you can check out, Red Deer Firefighter Children's Charity.com. So that is live now, so you can check that out. Then we're gonna have different avenues to get a hold of us, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or on our actual website.
And I know we kind of talked about this, and we don't have anything set, but I think we should, take our photos of the four of us too. And I don't know if anyone wants them, but I think we'll sell them separately, do some prints out just to raise some extra money for the charity too. I don't know exactly how that'll look. Lund, we'll get you at a table at the launch party selling those too. And
yeah, I think I'll be paying people to take some of our photos.
As long as the money goes to charity, it doesn't matter how we get it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that might be the only night where we go to Bose where it's like planned, it's always expected, but now Lund, you really have a reason to take your shirt off at Bose on stage.
Yeah, I'll just be another one of the boys, I guess.
You look like you fit right in already. You're good to go.
So let's talk about the charity now, because I know I think through the Chubs and some other different ways too, it's something we've supported because we have other friends too involved in the Red Deer Fire Department. Talk a little bit about the charity. Obviously, it's a big one, and this calendar raises a lot of money. So maybe, how long you've been supporting it and where the money goes.
So the charity was started in 1982. It was originally called the Red Deer Firefighters Community Fund. It's since changed into the Red Deer Children's Charity. That way we focus more on helping kids in the community, in the Red Deer community. We also branch out and we help out other like-minded charities. The three ways that we support the community is that we provide assistance to local families. We support programs in Red Deer, and we collaborate and assist other like-minded charities, like I said. So I was talking with with our charity president, and he just gave me a few brief examples that we did. We were able to recently help fund a specialty car seat for a child who had special conditions and they weren't able to sit in like a regular car seat. So we got a special custom made seat for them. And another one, we recently helped purchase a power wheelchair for somebody with mobility issues. So that was really cool to hear about that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the biggest thing is the fact that it's a local charity, right? I mean, the fact that it's ran by guys on the department, the money goes back to the community. You know, it's pretty tight. So there's a lot of accountability and transparency, which is pretty important to us because we're putting a lot of work, a lot of time and energy into this stuff. So it's really nice to kind of see exactly where all the money's going and exactly how we're helping the community. So
yeah, like you said, Stephen, like I think just from an outsider, that's pretty cool. The personal touch you guys can leave on some people in Red Deer's lives, and knowing that it's coming from the actual fire department, who's, you know, a huge part of our community, I think is outstanding. So I think just from our side of things, like not being involved in this and just having a fun piece of the parody part, you know, make sure you grab a calendar, head to their website. You know, this is the kind of stuff you're supporting right here in our community. So go get your calendars.
So what other types
Tell
of
him
things?
Lundy sent you.
Yeah. That might be copyrighted. So.
Do I need to get a lawyer for that?
Yeah, I'll be
we're
hearing
put that
from my
right
lawyer.
across the front.
Yeah. Well, besides the calendar and the photo shoot, what other types of events does the Firefighters charity do throughout the year to raise money?
There's a bunch. We do like a muscular dystrophy drive every year. So it's kind of like a rooftop camp out where guys spend a few days in the middle of winter up on the top of the station accepting donations. And
we've always picked the coldest months to do that. 2 years ago when we did it was like minus 30 and we're up on top of Station 3 on 30th Ave there.
So do people just like throw money at you while you're sitting on the roof there?
Yeah, us less committed volunteers, we pass a boot around on the street, so people drive by and dump money into one of those boots, and that's how we raise the money. So
yeah, that's a much less stupid way of doing it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
We also do like a toy drive where we collect toys and we bring them down to. There's a hotel that hosted a big breakfast for everybody, and then we were able to deliver the toys off to the distribution center where they got to make sure we sent them out to all the kids that were in need.
And then another one we do is like a pancake breakfast, Westerner Days, I think, at the beginning of Westerner Days every year in the Bauer Mall parking lot. So guys turn up and we feed everybody and accept donations. So you get a lot of guys coming out to help out for that kind of stuff. It's pretty nice to be a part of. So
what about Christmas trees? I got to get rid of my Christmas tree. You guys still do that?
I don't want any part of that.
You might as well. It's October. You might as well hang on to it for a little while.
Yeah, that's a good point. That might be one of our longest running events, the Christmas tree pickup every year. So pretty much after the holidays, people just turf their trees onto the parking lot, and then a bunch of guys, sleep deprived guys after a night shift, drive around in minus 30 or 40, picking them up, accepting donations. So that one's been a nice one that we've done for a long time. It's kind of one of those legacy events that's been good for us.
So I guess forming this partnership, because obviously, hopefully after we host this calendar launch, that you guys don't turf us, we don't ruin everything for you. But I think it's a really cool partnership because the fire department and Red Deer Emergency Services are such a big part of the community. Kind of want to take the opportunity while we have you here to learn a bit more about it. I know for myself, is coming from Calgary, things are kind of separate. Like if you're with the fire department, you're a firefighter. I know for you guys, it's a little different, right? Like
yeah, we have something called an integrated service in Red Deer. So it's a little bit like baseball. Like we all have multiple kind of roles that we fill. So just depending on the day of our tour, we'll either be riding on the medic or riding on the engine. Some days, depending on the station, we'll be on the ladder truck, the rescue truck, that kind of stuff. So we do a little bit of everything here, but I think that we provide like a great service for the city because we can kind of fill all those roles. So the same guys that are showing up on the ambulance one day are the guys that are showing up on the fire truck the next day. So whenever you're on calls, you kind of know everybody pretty well, and that makes things run a lot smoother.
Do you guys have a favorite position? Like
Griffin's favorite spot's on the medic.
Yeah.
That's a loaded question.
That's a different type of show, Lund.
Oh wait, this isn't the after hours show.
If Griffin can
this
hang
is
it,
the blue light interview already.
Yeah. Griffin's favorite position's on the lazy boy at Station 2.
If I could be on the couch and holding that down. No, I think each apparatus has their pros and cons. I think it's an absolute riot to be on the medic and driving around and having fun in that regard. And then, there's nothing that beats, driving a fire truck as well and spraying water and, going to the big call and stuff like that. So
that's a very political answer for you.
Yeah. I'm just happy to have a job here.
So I saw on social media this summer when it was really hot, you guys did go out and like to playgrounds and just sprayed the fire hose for hundreds of school kids. Like, is that something new that you've done, or have you done that for the?
You saw it from social media or from the parking lot with your windows rolled up?
Yeah, no, my lawyers advised me to say social media. Is that something you guys started this year? Have you been doing it the last number of years?
No, we've been doing the spray parks for a number of years now. I think it's a lot of fun. We're just the biggest kids when we get to go out and play and spray water. And
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to recruit future firefighters, right? So we want to show them how cool the job is. And yeah, like Griff said, any day where you get to go out and spray the water and drive the truck and turn the lights on and stuff, that's a great day for us. You know, we love coming to work on those days. So, and then like you guys know, the soupiness of the fire gear, it's nice to get hosed down every once in a while.
Yeah, where was that today?
Oh, that's coming after, Ted. Don't you worry, buddy.
So for you guys, obviously, you know, you talk about it being a cool job, and I know I'd be terrified to be a firefighter or really work in emergency services at all. So there's always that aspect of it. But what is maybe your favorite part of the job? Obviously, other than keeping people safe, because I think that's the obvious answer. But is there something really cool, like an experience, obviously, that you can't get anywhere else other than looking like Griff?
I think it's the camaraderie. Like, I don't know any other job that you can have where it's like 2 barbecues and 2 sleepovers with your best friends every 4 days. You know, we have hockey twice a week. The retired guys come by the hall every once in a while and be, oh, it's 11:30. I didn't realize you guys were having lunch. Yeah, I guess I could sit down and join you.
Write that down, Lund.
Yeah.
11:30.
You know, it's
Now, do you have to be a retired firefighter to come by for the lunch?
Just hold on to those pants, Lund.
Yeah, I
just
think
wear those pants into the hole.
after today, you're honorary. You could
right.
show up. Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah, the teamwork is awesome, but I have a little more of a selfish answer. My favorite thing to do on a fire is breaking down doors. I think that's one of the coolest things we get to do in our job, gaining access. Yeah, forcible entry is like it's super fun. And, you know, getting access to a fire and putting a fire out, it's like, that's why we all became firemen, right? That's why we love to do the job. So
Do you have like a really cool saying right before you kick down a door?
Put the blue stuff on the red stuff.
please don't get hurt, Griffin.
I don't know if either of those were that cool, but
we got to work on our catchphrase.
I think next time, just yell Lundy sent me and boot down the door. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if it's to my house, I guess it would make sense.
So one of the cool parts, again, from an outsider's view is, well, maybe not cool because shift work I know is pretty hard and can be pretty hard on the body. And I know, Griff, you're running on some minimal sleep and then going back into a shift. But you guys all have kind of your side gigs that you get to work. I know if I was a firefighter, I'd probably sleep for 4 days, but I think it's pretty cool that a bunch of you guys are able to do other stuff like yourself, Stephen, as a photographer. Maybe talk to us about, I saw your photography skills today in motion and they are good. I'm looking forward to seeing my abs after you Photoshop them. So
yeah, fake it till you make it.
Yeah, talk to us about your side business. Like, how's that going?
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's probably the least cool side hustle of anybody at work. We got plumbers and carpenters and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like 5 years ago, I was spending a lot of time in the mountains climbing. And so I started just kind of taking pictures of what I was doing. And I kind of found out that there was a bit of a niche there. So I sort of started leaning into like commercial tourism work and that kind of thing. And then in the last couple of years, getting married, having a kid, I've been spending a lot more time at home. So I'm kind of leaning more now, doing more like just commercial or that type of advertising stuff. But anytime you get to kind of download this job and you get to pick up something else, it's a nice day. You kind of get to take a bit of a mental break from this sort of thing. Because you're right, it's hard. You know, it's a tough gig. And so getting to do something else is super fun. It's something I'm passionate about. I had way too much fun taking shots at you guys today. So yeah, it's a fun gig. And then, you know, take it home and get to edit in my underwear, drinking a coffee. That's a nice way to get paid too. So
while you edit Lund in his underwear, that's full circle.
Yeah. I hope he comes back to the edit. It's still in his underwear, maybe.
Yeah. Don't Photoshop any pants on me. Got to give the fans what they want, Steven.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah. So I guess this question is for both of you here. How long have you guys been firefighters, and has it always been in Red Deer here?
I've been a fire paramedic here for like 5 years here. I'm coming on 5 years in December. And yeah, I've only worked here on this department.
I'm 8 years in November, and I think I've been in the fire service 13 years now. So before this, I worked up north as a kind of on airplanes like medevacs. So I'd spent all my time going from like small town to small town, picking up high acuity patients and bringing them to the big city. And that was a great gig because the boss of that job had a lot of connections in forestry. And so I'd spend my summers as a wildfire rappel member, rappelling out of helicopters. So
Like James Bond.
yeah, a little less sexy, but pretty much, pretty much. But yeah, so I did that, kind of bounced back and forth for a few years, and then just got tired of living out of a suitcase. So that's where I kind of decided to make Red Deer home.
And one more question for me here. I've seen a number of fire halls around the city. Do you get to pick what fire hall you're at, or are you just given one, and how long until you're kind of rotated to a new fire hall?
We're assigned a fire hall. It all depends on like deployment and your specialties, what kind of training you have. Every hall has their own specialty, whether it's a hazmat hall, a rope rescue hall. We have downtown where we have like the ladder trucks and the rope rescue down there. And so we kind of just try to spread everybody out accordingly. The junior guys like myself, we do the 6-month rotations. At different halls. It gives us the chance to work with different captains and different members and just experience the city a little differently. And then some of the more senior guys, they have the more specialty training, they'll get posted out of a hall for 1, 2, or 3 years.
Yeah, so pretty much just as you're tired of one hall, you get moved to a new hall. So that's nice. You get a different feel, different people you get to interact with. And then like Griff said, just different trucks you get to be on every day, which is super fun.
Are there any myths or stereotypes that you maybe, now that you have a captive audience of at least 20 to 30 people, is any myth with working at the fire hall, being a firefighter that you want to debunk right now?
Yeah, that we all look like Griffin mostly.
Like, don't firefighters just like play video games all night, Griff, and eat pasta and play ping pong or?
Why are you describing your life to Griff?
Sounds like you have the job already.
I'm considering a career change.
He's applying.
But so in reality though, you probably don't have very many nights where you don't get any calls.
Yeah, there's not many nights on the medic where you get to sleep all night. Our ambulance is pretty busy in Red Deer, so that's a tough gig, especially the night shifts. Everybody likes to be kind of busy during the day and that sort of stuff. But during nights, it'd be nice every now and then to get a bit of a snooze. But yeah, most nights, I would say probably on the medic, we're rolling most of the night.
So just as we wrap up here again, I want to thank you guys for doing this. But really, we appreciate it. We had an awesome day coming out. Thanks for letting us borrow your lube. We really appreciate, I guess, have it. We didn't just give it back, give back what we used. But again, going back to the calendar, just seeing the amount of work that goes into it, both, for the firefighters to get into shape, and Stephen, for you, what goes behind it. So yeah, make sure you go buy a copy. It's worth it. It's for a great cause. And one last thank you to, as we're looking straight forward, to Riley from Communal Creative Studios. He's sitting under an umbrella right now with his camera on a tiny chair there filming. Came out all day, filmed us. So again, thank you to you. And
hey guys, can I just say thanks for keeping us safe. Thanks for keeping our community safe so we can sleep at night. I know it's a lot of work, and I appreciate it. I think I can speak for everyone here when I say keep up the good work.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us,
thanks
guys.
For having
Appreciate
us.
it.
It's been a lot of fun.
We'll see you guys November 6th at Bose.
You betcha. Looking forward to it.
And thanks again for the lube. And thank you to Griff and Stephen, not only for the interview, they were nervous for it. We brought them into our world a little bit after they took us into theirs, but it was an awesome time. We'll start with Walsh because you had to leave before the interview. What did you think of the shoot, other than you obviously were the best looking guy there?
It was a lot hotter out than I anticipated because there's no wind and we were right in the sun. So, I was starting to sweat.
Hey man, you were bringing the heat.
Yeah, that's true.
You had so much. We covered you in so much lube, you couldn't tell what was sweat and what was baby oil. So.
Yeah, I thought I got it all off after, but I had to go shower when I got home.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Yeah, there's nothing to like being covered in oil and then baking in the sun too.
Yeah.
That was the best part. But it was a really interesting experience, and I kind of thought about it after the fact. And we just released the amazing video that Riley from Communal Creative Studios made to kind of announce that we're hosting the show and working with them to help raise money. But thinking about that, that's a pretty incredible experience for us, because the firefighter calendar, no matter where you go, it's almost like a sacred thing. It's a big tradition, and we got brought in kind of at the risk of maybe undermining it a little bit or making fun of it. But the photos we took, yeah, our bodies are a little doughier than what you might see in an actual actual calendar, but to be a part of that experience too, and see what goes into it, and use our platform to share it a little bit more, I think is amazing. So we can't thank those guys enough for having us out. And again, just I don't think we're ever going to stop talking about that experience because it was pretty awesome.
To your point, I thought it was a very unique opportunity. Like, never in a million years did I think I'd ever be anywhere close to a firefighter photo shoot, let alone be in one. And those guys made it really easy just to get comfortable. And I don't know how you guys felt, but I've had to do a few photo shoots because of Rob Ray lately. So I definitely was more comfortable than I probably normally would have been if I didn't have that experience. But yeah, like I said, those guys made it really comfortable, and I thought it went by pretty quick. And I mean, being with you guys, in all honesty, we just have fun all the time, right? So I've seen it before where people get really nervous and then it's really hard to, get into it. And so that's part of it.
Well, and to your point, like, Erin was there producing the heck out of that. With her husband, Griffin. Steven, a masterful photographer. Like, after seeing the actual shots, I'm wondering where my love handles went, and I'm loving it. So thanks, Steve. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Photoshop.
Yeah, I wasn't wondering. I knew where mine were. They were just strategically placed elbows.
Yeah, I had that fire hose that I could kind of hide everything, which is great. To speak to Erin a little bit, because like, she's just been a rock star the last, number of weeks with ad reads and taking time out of her night. Just a huge shout out to you, Griffin, Steven, the whole crew. Like, it was such a fun day. It was like they brought out the tickle trunks, hey, when they brought out those 3 things with all the fire suits in it, and we're trying them on, and me and Ted are struggling to find pants that fit us, and we're just rocking open flies, and yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah, when they handed me the exact same size like fire pants that Walsh was wearing very comfortably and perfectly, I knew we were in trouble. But I thought too, for me, I hate getting my picture taken. Like, the video camera's rolling, the microphone's rolling, I'm very comfortable. 2 things made me way more comfortable. A, having Griff and Erin kind of coach me through, especially Griff. But the other thing that made me more comfortable, the confidence of Ryan Lund. I go up and I'm so rigid in front of the camera. He goes up, does whatever he wants, takes his pictures, he's loose, he's feeling good, and he's done and out of there. So pretty interesting day, and it felt kind of good. I know the last year I've been forcing you guys to come out of your shell a little bit, and I had to do it that day. So
just to rewind a little bit, because you said, you mentioned, they're taking a little bit of a risk bringing us into their sacred thing, right? In our defense, our little shtick is to be the parody crew. So I think that this is going to be rock solid. I think we're going to have an awesome night at Bo's on November 6th. Ladies, get your tickets. I'm sure we'll have details on that through our social media or later on in the podcast, but support these guys who have put themselves through the ringer on diet and working out. And, we've known some friends in the past that have done it, and it's a hell of a lot of work, and we got to just show up. I don't think I've worked out in like 4 years and got to be part of a cool shoot. So let's make sure we support them and their charity, and let's have a fun night at Bo's.
Yeah, like you said, Dust, we're not really there to compete with the firefighters. We're here there to bring something a little bit different, and it
wasn't even close. We won.
Yeah, we brought the attitude for sure. And you know what it was? I just had complete trust in Steven, the photographer. I just listened to him, and I didn't question him at all.
And then you took your pants off.
I took my pants off.
Hey, why are you only wearing one sock, Lund? Oh.
It was real hot out that day. The sun's going up. My legs needed some sun. So, and you know what? Everyone else had their shirts off, and I figured, why not be different? Why not take my pants off?
That is the
That's
Ryan
not
Lund
like
way.
you, yeah.
But and my favorite, I think this is my favorite part of the day, is you kept your boots on. We were walking around in like shitty $6 Fruit of the Loom powder blue underwear that, they were fine, but they were definitely like your laundry day underwear, I think.
Nah, man, it's the same as wearing swimming trunks.
He knew you were there for the kids.
Never lose that.
It's for the kids. It's for the kids.
Never lose that confidence.
Ted, when you posted those pictures on Instagram, and Ryan's girlfriend posts a note saying, "Why is Ryan Lund the only one in his underwear?" I had to pause for a second because I've known Ryan a very long time, and we've been good friends, and so we've been in a lot of situations together. And
that's a good word.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful.
And I was like, geez, from even what I can remember, there's at least 10 times where Ryan was the only one in his underwear around a bunch of dudes.
Okay.
And so I let her know that, and she said, yeah, that sounds right.
Me and Kev took swimming lessons together.
In your underwear?
Yeah.
So Aaron, we know you've known me and Dustin quite a while, and now you've been part of this podcast for long enough that I don't think anything that day surprised you. So you can tell us a bit about your experience from that end, but I know you've seen the whole thing because, we won't see till the calendar comes out, but Griff is...
He looks good.
I don't even have the words.
No, it was, it's wonderful to be able to bring together kind of my two core Red Deer groups with the, Red Deer Emergency Services and the podcast. But I think too, we get the guys that are in the calendar, and you guys get so excited about the photo shoot, and that's such a focus. And for somebody like Kevin or any of the guys in the photo shoot, it is, months of hard work and really keeping at it. But there's also so much that happens after the shoot. Not only is there the fun calendar release party, but it is all for the Red Deer Firefighters Children's Charity. And they do activations and, good work, like you heard in the interview, all year long. And this is, just kind of the start for these guys. Not only do they have to, look great and kind of be their best selves for the calendar, but throughout the rest of the year, they're, at different events and selling tickets and selling calendars and really, raising as much money as they can. So it's not only like looking great, but they're really putting in the work in the community as well.
Honestly, a big opportunity for us. I think we're going to reach a new audience and have a lot of fun.
You might find a wife.
Technically I still have one, but... But it's a pretty open marriage. I don't think I've ever told that story yet, but anyways, yeah. Ladies, if you're looking to get with a married man without actually doing anything wrong, I am your guy.
I hope that stays in.
It might. That's what she said. That's why I don't
Stay
have enough.
hot, Teddy.
We just saying shit.
hot.
We just saying shit. Yeah, ladies, if you want
balls.
Yeah.
This is if that stayed in, then everyone, you just got a good look at what goes on behind the scenes here a bit. But really, it's going to go beyond us just hosting that night too. Like, we're going to work hard to sling these calendars. We do have the photos for people asking. No, we're not in the actual calendar, but we're going to do something with them yet. Yeah, maybe next year.
Maybe someone will drop out and we can sneak in.
It hasn't been printed yet, so there's still time, boys.
Well, you never know. Jason Kenney might announce Smarch just to, you know what? Hey, 2021 is not, we're going to have the best Smarch ever. So that's going to be our month. But really, we're going to keep working with them to raise as much money as we can. So stay tuned for more stuff from us. It's just kind of a drop in the bucket there. And I will say, Aaron, like you talk about how all the firefighters worked hard to prepare. Like, I had a pretty small dinner the night before. So I think we all sacrificed to try and look good for that shoot.
You guys looked incredible. And it was really fun to see Griff and Underhay's confidence in directing you and getting the shoots, and you guys being a little bit nervous and unsure, except for Lund. And then transitioning to the interview where you guys are so confident, and then having Griff and Underhay be a little bit like, oh, and having to remind Griff that he's done a really good job of keeping himself private and kind of offline. And I was like, you're out there now.
Well,
like,
once that calendar
famous.
Comes out too.
He's very married.
Yeah, so am I. It doesn't stop me.
I was waiting.
Yeah. So,
like, we're not here to promote infidelity, but if you want to dip your toe in the water, Ted's still married, but it doesn't count as cheating.
Yeah.
So
happily married for the last 3 years, but
living with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking a lot about this, but it's a big thing and a big experience for us. And we have to talk about the video Riley made for us, which is, if you haven't gone on social media or on our YouTube page and seen it, the full 1 minute video, it's incredible. He was out there. It was a hot day. At one point, he was under an umbrella. And again, we do a lot of weird stuff, and he came out on a Sunday afternoon and did that, and in the middle of sober October, no less, so he couldn't even, have a couple beers to make it easier. But I'm going to put him on the spot. Maybe he'll come in here and grab Aaron's microphone real quick.
Yeah, he's coming.
I have to hear a videographer's firsthand experience of what that day was like for you, because you've seen a couple different things. You're a music guy. You film a lot of bands. Starting with the firefighter shoot, was a whole new realm for you.
It was new, in a way, but at the same time, I would say that we'd been practicing for our magnum opus since we started working together. I honestly can't count how many times I've seen you guys with the tarps off. Shirts come off at the drop of a hat. And also not the first time I watched people put lotion on each other. So I feel like we've just been training for it.
But this time you were making the video instead of watching the video on the internet.
No,
There's a difference, yeah.
Stride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, forgot about the
Yeah, I
stride
did forget about
massage from
that.
Ryan Lund.
So, Riley, would you say your entire career has been building up to this moment?
I can't not say that.
His entire retirement has been coming. He's going to release a documentary from that day called Why I Quit. Thank you again for everything you do for us, you and Ryan. You know, Ryan was somewhere at 6 a.m. that day, so I don't envy him at all. I think he would have much rather seen Lund running around in his underwear like the rest of us saw. But thank you again for everything that you do. And we keep telling everyone to give you guys a call, and I think that's right there a pretty prime example of why you should. And you turned that around really quickly, and good thing, because we had to make that surprise announcement. So thank you for that too.
Anytime, boys.
Hey, Riley, do you have any tips for the next time we do it?
Workout.
Hire someone else.
So I think just to close off our cool, unique experience, and thank you to the firefighters that brought us in, Griff and Steven, and the calendar and the charity, and just everyone who's a part of that whole night that's going to happen at Bo's. But I got to bring my daughter that day. Teddy, you set it up through Aaron and Griff, that they could come and hang out on the charity truck and tour it. It's the first time she's seen a fire truck. We had our in-laws, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and their little one, and they got to come out and see it too. So just a great job by everyone involved with the Red Deer Emergency Services. And another reason that my daughter's been talking about the fire trucks and why I'm not a fireman at home. So thanks a lot, boys.
Yeah, does she understand now? Does she understand why you're not a fireman?
She's seen me enough with my shirt off, so she knows why I'm not a fireman.
So again, that was a little long wrapping that one up, but I think it was worth it. A great experience. Thank you again to everyone involved. Can't wait to do more with this moving forward. Again, if you haven't got your tickets, ladies, for the launch night at Bo's, November 6th, you can get them at Bo's, $35. Gets you entry, gets you the calendar, which is worth $20. And it gets you a Troubled Monk beverage as well. They're a sponsor of that event. And Lund is for sure going to be signing autographs. Maybe the picture will be Griff, but still Lund will be signing them. And we can't wait to see everyone there.
Yeah, I'll sign anything. Just show up. I mean, I'll sign any. I'll sign any picture.
Yeah.
I'll sign any picture. Oh man!
Right there on one cheek, HA, and right there on the other, PPY.
Well, if you're signing any, I should bring you my divorce papers. Get that done.
Yeah, we should get that done before the event.
Yeah. All right, so how do we move on from there? Still lots to talk about. Again, we're going to move into our Tourism Red Deer spotlight, and this one we get to kind of hit on a couple different cool members of Tourism Red Deer. It is hockey season. The Red Deer Rebels, they've had a couple home games. They are a Tourism Red Deer member, and I think it's cool because when we talk about them, we get to talk about tourism members. Westerner Park, Troubled Monk is the official beer there, and a new sponsor this year, which I think is awesome because it just adds some local flavor to the Centrium, is Peavy Mart.
Yeah, like them stepping up. I don't know if a deal expired or what happened, but them stepping up and being the name sponsor of the Centrium is pretty cool. It looks great on the building. I think good for them. I know Troubled Monk, they got a cool, unique spot in the Centrium, the craft corner. I think they're the only craft beverage in the Centrium, so pretty awesome for them. Our friends over at Troubled Monk, who always are doing so many things for us. So if you haven't got out to a Rebels game this year, do it. I think they're doing pretty well off the hop here. They got a year older, I guess everyone got a year older. But they brought in some older players and a new coach, and they're off to a hot start.
What you said makes sense in junior hockey speak.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and going back to Peavy Mart, I think that's one of the coolest places to go because it's a lot more local than your other hardware stores. But Lund, I think Lund sang the jingle for us before. You go in there for one thing and you can look around. And Aaron, you're a horse person, so I'm sure you've been in Peavy Mart more than once.
I sure have. And they have a great selection not only of
horses.
No, they do not sell horses there. But of farm supplies, but also just like other cool shit that you have to buy.
I think that should be their slogan. Horse supplies and other cool shit.
Sing it.
PV Mart, horse supplies, and other cool shit.
You are the king of taglines these days.
Yeah, I better get compensated for that one.
But, and PV Mart's a place like, you don't go, I'm not going to mention the other types of stores by name, but you don't necessarily go there just to look around or like even take your kids there and find said cool shit.
Who are you talking about, Ted?
Yeah. Oh, I think you know.
Do they sell bikes where their front tire falls off?
I was going to get to that. I said, I don't know if
Store
PV
called
Mart...
Albertan Wheel.
I know that if they sold bikes, the tires would stay on, but...
Me and my wife buys all our garden seeds there. I guess I'm not really a part of the whole gardening process, but she grows some mean-ass carrots, and I can tell you, I don't know if it's the soil, but it must be those seeds at PV Mart.
Yeah, Dustin's there. He's just in the car playing his Game Boy. Yeah.
And if you're an Instagram influencer looking for those cute Carhartt toques, PV Mart.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, me neither.
Because you're talking to one of the biggest Instagram influencers out here in Lund.
I'm debating what my third photo post should be.
You in a Carhartt hat from PV Mart.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So I think that's just a cool spot. Going all the way back, that's a cool sponsorship and something more local. And obviously Rebels games is, especially now we haven't really had hockey for well over a year. So it's cool to see them back and kind of all the connections there.
The World Juniors too. At Westerner Park. CFR coming up. Like they got some crazy events coming up that hopefully, let's say the L word or is that the right? Yeah, lockdown. Yeah, we don't want to say that, but
Well, don't say
I don't think we'll end up in that, but some great events that are coming, some big, very big corporate events, lots of corporate business behind those events and hopefully we're rocking in the Centrum. I know they're part of the rep program, so yeah, really looking forward to building that place back up after what it was a year and a half off.
I just want to say, kind of to your point of the different events and everything that we've been able to pull into Central Alberta recently. I think Westerner Park, for all their issues that they've gone through, at least, they've made it a world-class center and being able to bring in some pretty high-end and high-quality and very well-known events is awesome. And hopefully we can keep doing that. I'd love to see, I know we've done concerts in the past and to varying degrees, but I'm hoping that kind of when things turn around, they need to continue on that path because we're just a perfect location for a lot of these kind of mid-level bands and concerts and whatever plays. We got great facilities, so hopefully we can keep that going.
I hope they bring the Harlem Globetrotters back soon too, because I don't know if you've ever been. That's a pretty cool, unique event they have there.
Are they still undefeated?
Hey, maybe that should be our goal.
To beat them?
To somehow be involved in the game when they come back.
Yes.
Put that on the list.
Put it out in the universe. And I know we are going to hopefully this winter do something, work with the Rebels a bit and be at a game and do something fun as well. We have lots of ties there.
Yeah, I played a bubble hockey intermission game for them a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to vote that you do that again.
It was at the Top Prospects game when they hosted pre-COVID, and we were still playing for the Red Deer Rustlers at the time, and we had a team practice, and I believe Marissa asked us to be in the bubble hockey game. There were 6 of us at the Top Prospects game, and so we all lit up. Oh yeah, we're going for sure. Like this is going to be awesome. Huge crowd in the building, nationally televised, and we go down. We're playing for these Zamboni coolers, and so we said before, hey, let's just go out and give it our all. Let's dummy each other on the ice. Like let's put a good show on for the crowd, and we'll draw names after for the cooler. So great. All good. And I remember I get out there and we're in helmets inside these bubble machines or whatever they're called. And
just bubbles.
I saw Lundy from a mile away and my eyes just lit up and I just absolutely smoked him. And you hear the crowd go, ooh, and we keep playing or whatever. And we get out of there and Lundy comes to me, goes, holy shit, I ripped my jeans. They're right in the crotch. They're ripped wide open. He goes, oh no, we don't see this on national television.
So I remember it like it was yesterday because I got knocked over, and then when I stood, like it was tough to stand back up in those bubbles, and I was wearing some tighter jeans, and I stood up funny or whatever, and I heard this large rip, and the first thing I thought was, oh no, I'm gonna be on national TV in one of those blooper reels as a guy with a ripped crotch, ripped jeans, and that like I'm never gonna live it down. So for the last like 2 minutes of that game, I was just trying to like keep my thighs close together while I was running in the bubble. And then as soon as we got off the ice, I like reached down to figure out how big the hole was and like exactly where it was. But lucky for me, the bubble kind of protected all that from what I've been told. And then I won the draw for the cooler. So all in all, not a bad day.
And you know what? Sometimes your pants come off even when you don't mean them to.
Yeah, that was just an innocent situation. But I'd give it another go. I've learned a lot from that bubble hockey game.
Once again, you found yourself in a situation where your underwear's there.
At least I was wearing underwear, man.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty unfortunate if I wasn't.
Well,
How many fingers was the hole?
Like it was huge. It was too. How should I measure this?
It was both seams.
It was both.
Yeah, it was like almost down like half his thigh. Like it was.
I had to throw the pants out.
I know I have
Yeah,
a
you
picture
should
of it
probably get some
somewhere.
better jeans.
Yeah, if only I knew a place.
I'll let you know when I find one.
So to wrap up, go to the Rebels game, wear loose pants just in case because you never know what'll happen. Go to PV Mart, check it out. Check out Westerner Park. There's always lots of stuff going on there as well. And drink Troubled Monk. I think that wraps up that spotlight. And speaking of drinking, well, not me because I made a terrible decision to do Sober October. So more for you guys. But again, Door Tender delivered as they always do, enjoying some nice Alberta craft beer. And you know, for us, this partnership has been amazing with Door Tender. You know, Brian and Troy and everyone else there. Brian's kind of the main guy we talk to, but are always looking to do new stuff with us. And they said, hey, you want to do a new code, which means Oh Dear Summer is no longer active. But if you used Oh Dear Summer for $10 off, now you can use just Oh Dear 10 for another $10 off your next order. So another opportunity to save $10, which, I know, Dustin, you're going to burn through that. You might order it on the way home.
Yeah, and I think, you know, as we talk about everything full circle with this podcast, they're going back to the tourism spotlight. They're, I think, the lineup card sponsor for the Red Deer Rebels now. So
Right.
pretty cool for Door Tender. They've made their way on the bus benches. They're on the Rebels lineup card. They're doing some big things, and they keep growing, which is great to see from one of our partners.
And they had some nice things said about them on Red Deer Reddit that I actually saw, I think today even, which we can't say about this podcast yet. So,
Well, one of us needs to get on there and type something nice about us.
yeah. Erin's a Redditor. She'll get on it for us.
I have been lurking for years, never posted, so.
Oh. Long time lurker, first time poster. One more thing. That's what you should title it too.
Yeah, and use your 1-900 voice too.
Yeah.
I'm lurking around the corner.
What do you think Reddit is?
Yeah.
Man, you can do it for anything. You can.
How do you just type in brackets like phone
Sexy
sex voice?
I mean, I'm not a Redditor, but I'm sure you could.
I'll give it a try and report back.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. One more thing on Door Tender. They're doing, for the second time, their Drinks for a Year contest, which basically you win a $100 gift card every month for a whole year. So that's $1,200 in free Door Tender. And to quote Brian, it is comically easy to enter. Go to doortender.ca or go on their app. If you don't have an account, you create one, and then right on there, you just click Drinks for a Year, you hit enter, and you're entered to win. And no, Dustin, you can't win.
I've already entered on their Instagram a couple times.
Who's this Justin?
Yeah, I'm going to have to change my name on Instagram.
Who's Justin Dorr?
Yeah. I couldn't think of anything that rhymed with more, which there's
Well,
only like 100 things.
that's a tough one.
I hope there's some guy named Justin Dorr listening to us right now. They're like, hey, that's me.
I win.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you again, Door Tender, as always, for providing the beverages tonight, and again for the new code. So, Oh Dear 10 for $10 off your next order. So, again, wow, we're rolling along here. A bit of a new segment here. We're going to see how it goes, because I know the timeliness of this podcast isn't always there, but we always talk about, you know, how we want to support local and highlight local. So I want to do a little segment called What's Happening, just to talk about a couple upcoming events that people may not know about or could even use a little bit extra, the Oh Dear bump, I think is what we're calling it. So yeah, here we go. And for Erin, for a brand new segment, we have a brand new sponsor.
What's Happening is brought to you by Corey Kloss of RBC Dominion Securities, helping families reach their wealth management goals since 2013 by creating a straightforward, clear path. If you have any questions about your current investments or need a plan to reach or maintain retirement, reach out to Corey and his team at RBC Dominion Securities today.
So Dustin, I think just to talk about the type of guy, just like all our partners on this show and our friends, talk about the sales meeting you had with Corey, maybe to just show what type of guy he is and how much you had to strong arm him.
Yeah, we were at Bose, and I showed up fairly late in the evening. I think it was an Optimus Club meeting that President Lund was running. I sat down beside Corey that night, and I said, he had mentioned he listened to the podcast and enjoyed it. And I said, hey, you should be a sponsor. He goes, all right, text me tomorrow. So, awesome guy, a lot younger than us. I didn't really know him growing up. I knew his brother a little more, brothers, I guess. But just a great family and a group that is fun to hang around with. That's for sure.
You took the long way there. That's my fault for not prepping you. But It really was, hey, do you want to sponsor? Yep. And that's the type of guy Corey is.
Yeah, I had the chance in my prior job. I would send a lot of clients Corey's way for investment advice. And first off, I'm never going to give a referral to someone that I don't trust and believe in. And so that just shows what type of guy he is. And he did a phenomenal job. All my clients loved him. So if you're ever looking for even just to sit down, just to say like, hey, I don't know anything about investments. Can you just teach me something? To sit down with them and talk about maybe if you do have some investments, what he can do for you. Because I guarantee he's going to do a great job. So highly recommended.
Yeah, so thank you, Corey. Again, just another one on our roster of pretty amazing community partners. So to get into what's happening, again, this is pretty time sensitive. So I think it goes without saying, if you're listening to this, say on October 19th, and we talk about something that happens on October 18th, you probably missed the boat, so don't show up. But let's talk about, I did have someone try to sign up for the treasure hunt like 4 days ago, or asking for more information on the treasure hunt. So you just never know. But let's talk about something that is a little time sensitive. I'm not making that up either. And because it's very important, we just went through the federal election, and now this is only going to be relevant for the first couple days that this episode's out. But October 18th, we go to the polls again. Pretty important. I'm sure everyone knows that by now, but just even if one person goes, oh yeah, got to vote. There you go.
Oh yeah. I got to vote.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. And, I think it's important to say too, I think Lund already said this off the top. I really like make an informed vote. I think you said exactly those words, because I think, in my opinion, going and checking a box without even seeing that's just as bad, or that's the same as not voting. So if you do choose to vote, make an informed vote. And there is something pretty important too that's up in the air right now that's kind of weird. And I just kind of want to know where everyone here stands on this. Is I think it's the exact wording of it is to keep daylight saving time. And it's saving, not savings. That always drives me nuts. But anyways.
That's a real bugaboo for you?
Yeah, it is. Anyways, keep daylight saving time. It is a bugaboo. All the bumblebutts that say savings. But people say that, or the thing right now is, do we keep it just year round, no time changes ever? And to me, I think no, because like the sun rising at 9:30 a.m. in the dead of winter is not a good trade-off for the sun going down at 6:30 p.m. instead of 5:30.
So I'm torn, I guess, because I don't really care about the morning sun. Now, in talking with my wife, who's really into science, she says it can mess with your circadian rhythm, which, I probably still don't care.
Sorry, the time change does, or the late sunrise?
The late
does?
sunrise,
Okay,
yeah. But I don't know. I think I would rather the sunset later in the evening so you got more time for activities. I don't know. You know what? I don't know how my vote's going to go.
I think before I had kids, I would probably be where I don't know if I would care a whole lot. But with kids, I'm sure a lot of other parents out there can attest that it just throws a wrench. And yeah, it only lasts like a week, hopefully, where your kids are just trying to get readjusted to the new time and all that crap. So right now, I would say just scrap it and let's just keep the same time.
So I agree with you. But if we were going to scrap it, why aren't we scrapping it to stay on standard time?
Well, so I think the surrounding provinces and states are on I don't know what it's called, like the summertime. So that's
daylight
why we're
saving. Yeah. Daylight
just call it
saving would be
DST.
summertime. Would be summertime.
That's what it's actually called,
Yes.
DST.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we would go that direction, to be in the same. That way, if you're dealing with a business in BC or Saskatchewan, we're on the same.
So
exact time.
they're on daylight savings.
So
Saving.
you're getting cut out of this entire podcast, buddy.
I think they are, and if they're not, I think they're moving in that direction. So I think the majority of people are, and I think the ones that aren't, like states and provinces that aren't around us, are moving in that direction. But me personally, I'm voting for it. Like I could care less if it's dark in the morning. Like I'm not a morning person at all. So
yeah.
So excuse me, Ted. So when I wake up, if it's darker for an extra hour, it's not going to really affect me at all. But when I get home from work and it's already dark out, that's depressing. If it's still light out for an hour after I get home from work, I'm in a much better mood. So
Well, they call it the winter blues.
Yeah.
So I guess I have the winter blues, and I think it's gonna be a yes vote this year. Like I think we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I do too, but it's only, and this coming from a guy who complains about a lot of shit he probably shouldn't complain about. And, I get here, with kids and getting adjusted to the time, but I got anyone with kids, have you ever taken them on a vacation to a different time zone, right? That there's a time change there that you got to adjust to. So we're people kind of complaining about twice a year where we have to have a 1 hour time change where those same people probably stay out till 4 a.m. drinking and whatever, at least once a month, right? So if you kind of put it in perspective, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And yeah, I'm the exact opposite of you, Lund, is I don't mind when the sun sets early in winter, especially around Christmas time. To me, at that point, that's just kind of part of the season and how it feels. But I just don't think, like, why are we changing something just to change it too? Like, let's just keep it the same and maybe let's vote on something more important.
I am a selfish woman who has horses that she rides outside, and I want it to stay light as long as possible. So
That's another yes vote then, Aaron?
yeah. Voting yes.
No, I think, and again, if it changed, like, I'm not going to be mad if it changes. It's just one of those things that just seems, there's nothing like a good useless debate every now and then. We learned a little bit, and probably the least important thing to vote on, but at least now everyone's informed on that issue.
Is that what we did here? Did we inform anyone?
Disclaimer.
That's up to each individual person to decide. Because Lund, you don't want to take voting advice from a podcast, right?
You usually don't, but for this one, vote yes.
So you're basically voting Team Lund or Team Ted, and I shouldn't have assigned myself to that because it's gonna lose. Yeah.
I like my odds.
So again, one more thing we're going to talk about in a bit more detail because it's close to Dustin is a little bit later than obviously you all hoped, but there is a pretty important date coming up for the Bulldogs in November.
Yeah, the building, like everything with COVID and supply chain and everything that comes with a huge building construction, a little bit behind. We were able to push some games back, but November 3rd, it looks like our first home game with the Bulldogs is going to be in the new building. I got to have a tour of it yesterday, so I guess October 5th or 6th or 7th, whatever day, and
in October.
It's a pretty amazing facility. So if you're able to get out for our first inaugural game in the building, awesome. If you can't, try and get out there at some point and see the building. It's incredible. You won't find too many Junior A 1,500 seat arenas that look like that with loge seating and VIP areas, and the dressing room is just nuts. So it's going to be a pretty professional run program for hopefully a number of years to come.
And you can go by a 50-50 and support what Dustin's doing. Yeah,
the foundation's off to a hot start with the fashion show, and Kev's on the board. We had our board meeting today, and we're moving in the right direction and having lots of fun while we're doing it. Kids are out in the community at the schools and the food bank, and we're trying to create this culture of community with this team, and in turn, the community's going to support us, and really looking forward to kicking it off in that brand new building. I don't know if it's public knowledge. It hopefully is by the time this podcast airs, but Ryan and Riley from Bo's Communal Creative Studios, I think I got it right for the first time. They're going to be running the Jumbotron out there. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's you guys have all
the
seen.
Oh Dear Bump
Yeah,
wins again.
Yeah, Oh Dear Bump into the Bulldogs Jumbotron. So we've all seen what Riley can do with videos and Ryan with the audio, and their team is awesome. We know we got me and you, Ted, with the in-game experience that you're going to be doing.
Are we talking about that?
It's all full circle here. So it's going to be a fun little group to contribute into making a unique game night experience, and we want to get people in the crowd, even if they don't know what hockey is, to come have a good time and have some beers.
And yeah, I didn't know we were going to talk about it, but I am
me neither.
super excited. I hate saying super, but I am really excited to be a part of that game night experience. Been a little while for me. So coming out, you'll see me there, see Dustin there. And Lund, don't forget, going back to episode 9, Jody owes you a ticket to that first game. So make sure you make good on that.
Yeah, like, are there any like club seats that you give me a ticket
she
to?
said you got to wear the Muppet mask, like those guys that sit off in the top.
Waldorf and Statler, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, you get your choice of seat.
I thought you were gonna say he had to be in his underwear.
You gotta wear your fire outfit.
Oh yeah, we're doing bubble hockey in the first intermission.
Oh my God!
Bring out the
nightmares.
bubble machine.
Hey man, anything for the team.
All right, so those are two big things that's happening, and unless anyone else has anything I missed, that is what's happening.
And Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can probably find that on Reddit too.
You probably could.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, it's my birthday on October 16th, so that wasn't on your calendar, but
The big 2-5.
always.
Well, happy birthday, Aaron. If we don't see you before then.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, but at least make sure you listen to this on October 16th, Aaron, so that it's current.
Well, I mean, I'll listen to it when it comes out and on the 16th.
All right, so it's Aaron's birthday on October 16th, and that's what's happening. All right, let's keep on rolling here, because Lundy, it is time for another deer call.
He's sounding the same every time. I
Yeah.
think he's got it nailed.
Yeah,
But
consistency is key.
Yeah. I mean, once you get it, you get it. I mean, I'm not sure I got it, but
You got something.
yeah, I think I want to actually get an actual deer caller in here next. Like, no, I want a hunter to come in and confirm my deer call. Or we should just go out to a forest and I'll just attempt to call a deer.
Are you writing these down? You're just listing off. Okay, we're going to do all of the above.
Yeah, I think we should go with option C personally. I'd go out hunting with you. No guns. Just go out there and see if we can get a deer close to us.
Yeah, just like some water guns or something.
I think you just go out on our front lawn. They're out there all the time.
Yeah, that's true. I almost hit one the other day, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah.
you almost hit a deer on your front lawn.
No, but like a block away from my house. I wasn't expecting a
Someone
deer to be
else's
there.
lawn he was driving up on. Yeah. All right. Hey, Aaron, save us.
Deer Call is brought to you by Andrew Russell of Andrew Russell and Associates, who did not instigate tent wars, but certainly won. Let Andrew get you a win when it comes to buying and or selling your next home. Learn more at andrewrussell.ca.
And tell him Lundy sent ya.
You won't get a Lund-sized hole in your house either.
And yeah, I wouldn't do that. I can't go through a brick.
Not yet. Can't or won't, because those are two different things.
Yeah, no, I won't go through brick.
All right, so just quickly again, we had Andrew on last episode and hung out. Great interview. Again, for you guys have all that history with him, so really, really appreciate that. Some great stories there, and everyone loves a good Lund story. And I got to say, Lund, again, thank you for being a good sport.
Yeah, I didn't know he was going to tell those stories when he came on, and after he told them, I wasn't sure if we were going to keep them in or not. But you know what? Heck, I'm an open book. And if it's good for the podcast, Ted, it's good for me. So let's tell stories about someone else next time, though.
And us three get to see Andrew on this Sunday. Our beer league fires up, and we're doing something unique kind of to COVID last year, where we have 35 guys. I think we draft 2 teams. And so Andrew is my goalie this time around. It's Dustin versus Lund. We draft teams and play for beer. And so Lundy will be trying to score on him, but I get to hang out with Andrew in the dressing room after. So bonus.
Wow. Yeah, file that under answers to a question nobody asked. But okay.
You're welcome.
So let's get into Deer Call for some answers to a question we actually did ask. We're right in the middle of October. And Lund, what does that mean?
It is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was my fault. Yeah.
And it's the transformation between summer to winter in Red Deer here.
I think he was looking for spooky season.
That's exactly what I was looking for. But
I love how fall just isn't a season to you.
Not in Alberta, man. Are you kidding me?
It's fall right now.
Fall right now. It's beautiful.
The leaves are gorgeous.
No, I golfed the other day. It's still summertime.
All right, so because Dustin was right, you weren't wrong. It wasn't what I was looking for. But a lot of great Halloween and horror movies on TV, Netflix. Maybe you're throwing in a DVD, whatever. It is Halloween horror movie month. And I guess first off, how do you guys feel about scary movies? Like, do you watch a lot of them? I know we won't even get into what Aaron watches on Amazon Prime and Netflix, but I think a good one I really like, but I'm not I don't watch a ton of them.
I'm not a big movie guy in general, so I got some pretty funny stories that I'll share later just from like junior high school. But honestly, besides comedies on Netflix, I'm just not a huge movie guy. So I can relate to a lot of these movies that are probably on this list, but don't care a whole ton about them.
I am not a scary movie guy at all. They terrify me. I think it's ludicrous that people get enjoyment from watching these sick, twisted films. So yeah, I got a couple that I'll bring up, but they're pretty old.
So I used to hate scary movies, and then
A brave guy moved into your basement to keep you safe. And then he moved out and I moved in.
Yeah. No, and then I don't know, probably over the last 5 years or so, I really enjoy them as long as I'm not watching it by myself. If I'm watching a scary movie by myself, I just get way too paranoid, and then I just have to go check my closet or check under my bed. Like even though I know my doors are locked, I just want that like peace of mind. Just like, oh man, if someone broke in, they're probably banking on me not checking under the bed, because that's what I would do.
And I laughed at that because I do the same things. Like really, like the horror movies, I guess I don't like. It's thrillers and we'll kind of get into that. Like kind of the more, not as much scary, but the slasher flick type of ones. But I know, Aaron, where do you weigh in on this, even though we already know?
I go through phases, but I will crush a lot of like D-list horror movies. The trick is to watch them during the day when you're distracted with the sound off and the closed captions on. Then they don't scare you, but you still get the story.
Well, if things go Lund way, you can watch them 1 hour later into the day this winter. So...
Do you say if things go Lund away?
Lund's way.
Yeah, I heard Lund way.
I forgot the S, man.
All right, well, you know what I mean and not what I say.
No, I gotcha. So, Aaron, I do the same thing, except like, when it's building up to like the scary point, that's when I just turn it down real low to like 1 or 2 volume where I can still barely hear.
Yeah.
But when the guy like jumps out of the closet or like
I don't
comes
want the
after you
jump
with an
scare
axe.
noises.
Yeah, like I know what's coming. I just don't need to be like bombarded with all the shrieks and all the loud music.
So question for you, Aaron. When you say D-list, I immediately went to like very poorly acted, what's coming.
It's like The Asylum is a movie like production house. They make everything for under $1 million. They always have they'll have like Jaleel White or somebody who's like a D-list like talent that they can get in these movies. They're usually knockoffs of, they have some really good like originals, but they're usually knockoffs of the big budget movies. So they're just very safe options because I don't actually want to be scared, but I'm like horror curious.
So like Sharknado?
Love it.
Oh.
Any of
Is
those.
that a horror?
I
Is that
don't
a
know.
black comedy? Or well, I guess some of them, a lot of what you watch probably are considered black comedies too, right?
Yeah, and I'll watch everything from the like Sharknadoes, like Megasaurus versus Sharktopus to
Oh my God.
You're just making up words.
Bronchosaurus,
to like really good horror movies like Us or any what is the one where nobody talks?
Well, we might
We might get to them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
I like to run the gamut, but definitely not a horror purist. I just enjoy it in my own very specific way.
Well, I think if you have some good, like a good list from A list to D list, you can provide that and we can put it out there for anyone else who enjoys that. Because I know there are some D list ones. Like if anyone ever comes across The Convent, that is the best terrible horror movie ever made.
Velocipaster.
Okay, maybe the second.
Is that a dinosaur priest?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
job.
it is, Dustin.
I've seen
It
I
is.
saw like a movie poster for that somehow.
Yeah.
And
What on
Wow.
earth?
yeah.
Well, I think let's get into this list because there's not those on there, but I did ask, what's your favorite Halloween or scary horror movie? Because they are kind of two different things. And Dustin, I'm going to put you on the spot. When we put this out there the other day, what did I tell you was the only acceptable answer to this question?
Oh.
Because
I have short-term memory loss, but
Yeah.
was it Hocus Pocus?
No, that is a good one. But Jeremy and our pal Riley from Cilantro and Chive both said one of my favorite, it's terrible, but Ernest Scared Stupid is maybe just like you got to watch it every Halloween. It's the reason why I didn't eat Brussels sprouts for so long was just because he doesn't like them. It's terrible, but the Ernest movies are awesome and that might be the best one.
So I remember that movie really well because we watched it. I was a young boy and then we watched it as sleepover at one of my friends' houses who lives across the street from us, and I could not get to sleep. I was terrified. My mom had to come pick me up at like 10 o'clock at night because I just...
After you wet the bed.
Yeah.
Well, probably, man. Because that movie... You checked under your bed if the monster was there. There was a scene where you checked and he wasn't there, and he came back up top, like all relaxed, and the monster was just like lying in his bed. That just gave me nightmares for ages. So I've got terrible
remember that vividly.
memories. Yeah. So I agree. That one's terrifying.
When you asked that question on social media, that was the first movie I thought of, and I haven't seen it in years. I want to go back and watch it now, but I don't even remember specifics. I just remember as a kid watching it. And even as a kid, you could tell that it wasn't like it was like a B or a C level movie, but it was still scary when you're young. And yeah.
And I think it's probably been 5+ years since I've watched it again, but watching it as a grown up, or quote unquote grown up, it's awesome. And I'm going to put it out there because I know he listens, and if it's his favorite movie, maybe Riley will let us come to Cilantro, set up a TV in the back there, and we can enjoy some food and bevies and watch Ernest Scared Stupid together.
That would be awesome.
London. We'll have your mom on speed dial.
We'll have the volume really low.
I might be busy that night, actually, so... Like, I don't know. I conquered my hocus pocus fear last year, so I think I can conquer my earnest fear this year. So
yeah, so I'm guessing because Lisa and Bree both said hocus pocus, so I'm guessing that's why you watched it. That's another.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that one for a while, but that is another classic. Like, it's scary when you're a kid, but it really is a good comedy.
Those witches though in that movie, and those laughs, and there's just something about it.
Yeah. Going back again, great answer. We're still going to go through some, even though Ernest Scared Stupid is number one in, I guess, sounds like most of our books. Moira and Fiona both said Hubie Halloween, which is a newer one. It's on Netflix. Haven't watched it yet. Actually heard some pretty good things considering Adam Sandler has been dipping in the toilet quite a bit in his last few years for his movies. So
Money's money.
Yeah.
That movie sucked.
Did it?
That was terrible. I only watched the first half. I had to turn it off. It was so bad.
Hey, both those girls will kick your ass, so watch what you say.
Wow.
Yeah.
They can't find me if I don't come to the gym. I'm just saying it was terrible. Like it was like they brought back a whole bunch of Adam Sandler's characters from other movies that had like cameos in that movie, and I thought it was. Well,
I know
dumb.
Virginia Venet is in it, right? What's her name from Modern Family?
Claire
Happy
Dunphy.
Gilmore.
Yeah. Julie Bowen, that's her name.
Yeah.
Let's call her every character, but not her real name.
Happy Gilmore's girlfriend.
Yeah. Actors and actresses don't have real names. We'll keep it going, I guess, with the more lighthearted Halloween movies. Joe said Monster House. So I think that's an animated one. I've never.
Isn't it Monsters Inc.? Isn't that the one we're thinking about?
No, Monster House is an actual like Halloween.
Were you scared of Monsters Inc.?
No, I was okay with that.
You were
one.
keeping the power on for them the whole time.
Yeah, it really was.
Mike Wazowski. Someone had to say it.
Kelly got to stay home that whole night when Lund watched Monsters Inc.
That movie made me feel better about myself, like knowing it was just like the monster's job to scare kids, and they weren't doing it because they loved it. They were doing it like as a career.
If you don't love what you do, why do you do it?
Yeah.
That's why they're so good, because they loved what they did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is a bit of a deep cut. I'm guessing Aaron might be the only one who's ever seen this other than me. Lindsay said Death Becomes Her. And it's an actually awesome movie.
I have not watched it in so many years, so I don't know if it holds up, but it was like a pivotal movie in my childhood that I watched way too many times.
Yeah, it's like, I think like early 90s, is it late 80s, early 90s, Bruce Willis, Meryl Streep, and Goldie Hawn.
Oh, wow.
Really funny movie, good one. So good answer there. I think that's one, if you come across it, I actually highly recommend watching it because it does hold up. Our friends at Tourism Red Deer said Beetlejuice, which again is another one of those like kind of year-round movies, but at Halloween time is a classic, and I think everyone knows at least of Beetlejuice. I don't think that's a deep cut.
So would like Ghostbusters kind of fit in that same realm? Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters?
Don't say his name anymore. I think that's already twice. We've said it.
That's 3 times.
3 times?
Now.
Oh,
we're in trouble.
Okay. Lock the doors.
Whose name?
I'm not saying it again.
Voldemort?
If when you listen back, you'll get where we're going with this. Yeah, so I had some like the same thing. Like, is Nightmare Before Christmas? Here's another debate: is that a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie or both? I know when I was at Disneyland around Halloween time, the Haunted Mansion was all like Nightmare Before Christmas themed. So that's Disney's answer to that.
I'd agree with Disney.
I actually haven't seen that one, so I don't know.
Whoa.
That one scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. Like, that actually is a scary animated movie. Very
This
Tim
one,
Burton-y.
To me, tracks as a Die Hard. It is a Christmas movie, but it is appropriate all year round. And I would actually suggest like 2 viewings of it. It's a Christmas and it's a Halloween. So
Before we're still on the subject of just the lighthearted Halloween ones. Before I list off any others, you guys got a favorite one that hasn't been mentioned?
Like all the scary movies.
Oh yeah,
Like, I don't mean-
I know exactly the parody.
I was
the
confused there for
scary
a second.
movie
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, like with the Wayans brothers.
On a
all of
Ferris.
them, really.
Yeah,
All I
Like,
guess
they're
they all have their.
they're all such good parodies of all
Yeah.
the horror movies that have come out.
So not quite a movie, but I think we can all agree that we've seen at least one of these is the Simpsons Halloween episodes over the years.
Oh yeah,
They always did a great job with those. To be honest, I haven't seen any recent Simpsons episodes, but I remember 10 years ago, there was some great episodes there. So
when Disney Plus first came out with and they had the Simpsons on it, I went through and literally last October, I think it would have been, and just watched all of the Halloween episodes up until whatever a couple of years ago when Simpsons got really bad. But yeah, I'd count those as movies because it's same as like it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, right? That's another classic. So just a couple I was surprised that no one mentioned was The Addams Family is another one. Another big, like, there's so many, right? Casper is another good one.
Oh, I forgot about Casper.
A little past our era, but if you're really into the musical type thing, Rocky Horror Picture Show is a huge one.
That is the weirdest movie
Yeah.
I think I've ever seen.
But
in
it's
my
also
life.
one of like the most popular cult classics ever. And no one mentioned the Garfield Halloween special, which is, we know, Dustin's favorite. So
I do like lasagna.
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, that's a good one.
So we're going to get into the actual scary movies now. Lund, maybe cover your ears. So Ashley said this, we're going to start off with one I might have to watch. Never heard of it. It's called Strangeland. I don't know, maybe you were there, Dustin, when you watched it. She said watch it. But it's written by Dee Snider, which kind of caught my eye, like the lead singer from Twisted Sister, if you remember the We're Not Gonna Take It. So that's kind of weird. And just the plot, I had to pull the plot here. It centers around a police detective trying to save his city, as well as his daughter from an online predator who enjoys bringing enlightenment through ritual pain. Netflix or nonsense?
She said it's wacko.
Yeah.
So if you do get a chance to watch it, it's apparently just scary, scary, scary. So Lundy,
Those 3 scaries.
3.
Yeah, well, I'll
He's out.
You know what? As long as I'm not watching it by myself, I just need people.
I don't think I want to watch. I'd rather watch Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah.
If that scared you, what is this going to do? Devin said, he just said Halloween. I think there's 6 billion of those movies, but again, a classic, and you watch it now, I don't know if they hold up now, but for what they were back in the day, right? Like pretty groundbreaking and legendary. And the same with like the Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all those slasher flicks from way back in the day, I think are really the reason we're even talking about these movies right now.
They really haven't come out with a new horror movie like those Halloweens or Friday. Like it seems like the 80s or 90s was kind of the era of those slasher horror movies.
Like, are they still making Saw movies?
Well, so I was just going
because
to say,
that was probably the most recent kind of
Yeah.
franchise,
and
right?
that was the exact next one, funny enough,
Yeah.
on the list. Crystal said Saw, and those movies, again, are, I mean, they're weird and twisted, and I think they're just kind of the more modern take on those type of movies. That is the last like really big franchise like that I can think of too.
How many Saws are there now?
I think there was 5 or 6. I actually went down a rabbit hole the other day where I did not watch any of them, but I read the Wikipedia like plot summaries for all of them, and it seems like they really did try to give them some thought. I don't know how it played out in actuality, but there is a very continuous thread throughout all 5 or 6 of them.
So for me, that is one of my favorite horror Halloween movies is Saw 1. I think that it was the most geniusly written movie, like, and scared you, kept you on the edge of your seat. I thought it was just so cool how it all played out and it all worked. Scared the shit out of you. I think I watched maybe Saw 2 thinking it was going to be somewhere down that line. And I think it's like any other, sequel that they just keep getting worse and worse. I haven't seen a whole ton of them, but I loved that first Saw.
Yeah, I only watched it once. I agree with you. I think it's brilliant, but I thought the acting in it was, especially by what's his name from Princess Bride, Carrie Elway. Like, he was terrible in it. Which, I think that's a hard genre to act in. But I know, like, I've seen some movies. We'll go into it a little later with the acting. But Lindsay said this one's a Leprechaun, which I've never watched. I know Jennifer Aniston was in like one of those.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, I might have to watch that one.
Like,
you pervs.
Marissa, said Cabin in the Woods, which I've never watched because I'm in the.
It's good.
I don't want to be scared when I'm in the woods.
No, it's good.
That's probably my favorite scary movie.
Yeah,
I think it's really, really creative and well written, and it's got a couple weird twists in there too. There's
an old one and a more recent one too, like a lot of these movies, right? I think. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll watch it. And Gord's Smoke Shop, they said probably my favorite in this genre is the original Scream movie.
Yeah.
I think, and even, the sequels as they go on, I think there's another one coming out right away too, but as they kind of go on and start to become a little more like meta and make fun of the genre and make fun of itself, I think they're all good. But yeah, the first one, again, kind of sort of reinvented the slasher flick in the 90s, and I'll still watch the first one. I still think it holds up. And again, I think Lund, the Scary Movie franchise would not exist without that movie, I think.
Oh yeah, that Scary Movie franchise basically based their storylines on those Scream movies. So what you just reminded me of too is that I Know What You Did Last Summer. Those movies.
Oh, I thought you were telling me like.
Ted, I do know what you did.
Yeah, it was
last
the summer of Ted.
Mojitos.
Yeah,
those ones too. Yeah, I didn't even have that on my list, but that's a good one too.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a ton out there. But I'll watch any of those movies as long as I'm not by myself. And yeah, I might try Aaron's daytime trick.
Daytime, and as long as, like you said, as long as you've got control of the remote and you can turn the volume down when it gets too scary, you're good.
Yeah.
Hey, later in the fall, as long as it's after 9:30 a.m., you're good to go.
There is no fall. It's just winter and summer for Lund.
Yeah.
But yeah, any other ones not on that list? I know I've got a couple that, I mean, there's a zillion. Like, there's way too many to name.
Yeah, for me, it was, and this goes back to high school. And the only reason I remember this movie, I don't even know if it was good or not. I know it was scary, but it was The Ring. It was one of the first movies that I went to actually the movie theater on a date with Ashley. I think when we were 17, when we first started dating. We've been together forever. And I think I got to hold hands with her and maybe even got a makeout. So I love that movie.
and then Lund's mom came and took you home at 10 p.m.
Yeah. But other than that, like, there's The Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Blair Witch Project. Those are all ones that come to mind for me, of ones that I probably don't ever want to watch again if people are wearing faces of other people's faces and hearing that little girl's exorcist voice. Like, I just don't want to hear them again. It was ones that were classic and scary as shit, but I'm done with those.
And the thing about movies like The Ring and Blair Witch is they're also kind of a piss off, because like it's like an hour and 58 minutes of just nothing, and then two of like the scariest, most like disturbing fright. Because when that little bitch comes out of the TV, oh my God! And you know what? I wouldn't normally say that, but she was not a good person, right? So, but really, that was one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, the first time I watched The Ring in theaters, and I came home and I jumped into bed with my parents and was like a 19-year-old adult. Then watched it again, and I was like, oh, not so scary. But first time, same with Blair Witch. You have to remember, for our generation, that was groundbreaking. Nobody had done found footage like that. They played it up, like the production team, like they hid the actors away. They acted like it had happened for real. Yeah.
It was more about the promo of the movie than the movie itself. It was brilliant marketing.
The ending still terrifies me, right? With the spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Blair Witch from 1998, when he's staring in the corner there and there's all the handprints on the wall, like that scared the crap out. Now that's just what the house looks like after Lund has a party. Like someone's standing in the corner, like unconscious or whatever. But yeah, back then, I agree. Those are all groundbreaking. Yeah.
Same with M. Night Shyamalan movies. Like,
most of them, some of them.
But at the time, having those twists that we weren't expecting, now you expect it. You're looking for the big turn. What have I missed? What's going to happen? But the first few really, like, shocked the hell out of us all.
Well, The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But yeah, that was one. I think that's really what ushered in that. Well, now the phrase is M. Night Shyamalan twist, but that was on my list as one. And let's talk about not only two of this maybe most frightening movies I've ever seen, but two of the best movies I've ever seen is Jordan Peele. You mentioned one. First was Get Out, and then Us. Those are in their own ways like really creepy and scary, but just incredibly done, brilliant movies.
Yeah.
I've only seen Get Out. I haven't seen Us, but yeah, that it's so weird to think that Jordan Peele, who is a comedian, who's had his own show for probably 10 years and has been a comedian for 30 years, is that dark. He's that good at writing horror movies. That guy should not have that much talent. It's not fair.
Well, maybe you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, Lund, and just assume he can't write a good horror movie.
When I first saw him, Ted, that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, there's no way this guy can write a horror movie. But speaking of the Blair Witch, I just remembered those, those Paranormal Activity movies. So the first, the first time I saw the first one, I didn't realize it was a movie. I thought it was an actual documentary about this guy or this family who actually had a haunted house. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cool. So of course I'm watching it alone, and then that scene where the sheet gets pulled back while they're sleeping, I still thought it was a documentary. So I was just losing my mind, and then I turned the volume all the way down and then
that helped.
And then ended up watching the whole thing, and then I finally had to look it up online and realize, oh shit, this was a movie and it was all make believe. But for the 2 hours I watched, I was terrified the whole time.
Well, they Blair Witched that one, and that I remember the same thing too. Is they kind of you didn't know who the actors were. They used unnamed people, and it wasn't until after the fact that I was the same thing. I wasn't sure if it was real or not, and you could have told me it was, and I would have believed it. So yeah, I mean,
so do your research before you go to a horror movie.
Yeah.
So again, me not being a horror guy, you guys have actually brought up a lot of movies that I did watch once or even just parts of that triggered in my mind. So that was a nice little trip down memory lane. But I have three real quick. Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
That's one that I've actually watched multiple times, but I still remember the first time seeing it, and like when she has the night vision goggles on, like near the end, like that's pretty creepy. But classic movie, great acting.
Yeah.
Another one, I think it's called Circles or Crop Circles or
Signs.
That's the one.
Circles.
with the big circles.
You see this scary movie called Circles?
Like, I don't know. I think that movie.
Oh my God.
But some good actors in that one, and I wouldn't say it's like super scary, but I just remember the first time that they like catch the alien on video and it like popped out of the bushes or whatever, like that scared the shit out of me.
Or like the kids' party or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was really
oh shit,
crazy.
that's one of those circles. Oh my God.
Yeah. And lastly, I watched Hostel, and I don't know what. I think that's probably like late, like maybe early 2000s.
Like right when we were all old enough to start wanting to travel to Europe on our own. Yeah.
Perfect Ford was Hostel.
And I watched that, and honestly, that was probably the last horror movie that I ever watched till now. And I really don't have any interest to watch any other ones.
So one more, if you do enjoy like the really effed up type of movies, is The Last House on the Left. And like that gets really weird. But the reason I like that is it is one of the best acting performances I've ever seen. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. I think it's Garrett Dillahunt. But anyways, it was incredible acting. The little kid from Gladiator is in it too, and it's pretty messed up, especially the end. And it's disturbing as hell. So kind of a warning there. But if you do want to see a different type of horror movie and some really good acting, I would watch that one.
So one of my favorite weird true crime podcasts is The Last Podcast on the Left. Never knew where the name came from.
Oh, now you do.
Now I do.
Because I actually saw that podcast today is what made me think of that.
Yeah.
I got one more, as you said, kind of a weird, messed up movie. I don't think it would be classified as a horror, but Donnie Darko.
Oh, I was just thinking of that one. How weird is that?
And like again, the first time
That's so weird. That's so weird.
So no one saw this, but Dustin was kind of sitting on the stool in the corner right now, away from his mic, and he almost went through the table, jumping up there. That's the fastest I've ever seen you move.
I knew he was going to say Donnie Darko too. Ashley will love that throwback. Good job, man.
I've seen that multiple times. I'd watch it tomorrow, but the first time you see that creepy bunny is scary,
Frank.
and that is just a messed up movie.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
But it is worth it,
That was Jake Gyllenhaal's first big break, really.
and it's a cult classic.
Yeah, and I think
would
his
say.
sister's in it too. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what sold you.
The Megster.
All right. Well, that was
Megs.
we did a great job of doing a quick deer call, like we said. But man, those ones, I think for the next couple weeks and leading up to Halloween, lots of good stuff to watch, and or whenever up until 6:30 p.m. in December, maybe depending on if it goes Lund way or not. But all right, moving on. On to our last thing of the night, mercifully. And so after Ted versus Walsh ended, I'll admit I panicked a bit and didn't really think of what to do next. So I thought the Backstreet Boys game was pretty good. It wasn't bad, but I really like the verses. I think we can all agree when it's the verses, it's the best. Lund, I will get you your troubled tea.
I was going to say, Ted, get me my troubled tea.
Yeah, we'll take this offline. So we are going to get right back into verses, though, with the two champions now. So that was not worthy of applause, but whatever.
So this is for the Ultra Championship.
Yeah, pretty much. So we are getting into Dustin versus Walsh. And first off, guys, what is on the line this time?
So, me and Kev have been close friends for a really long time. We figured we had the chest wax with Lundy. We got the nails on Teddy coming up. We wanted to do something a little more, I guess, less physically painful. So the loser of our best of seven, let's call 7. So first to 4. The loser is going to take the winner for a carriage ride in the winter time or fall, wherever we're at when it ends.
There's no fall.
At Heritage Ranch. We're going to go out for dinner, paid for by the loser at one of our partners or Tourism Red Deer partners. And then we're going to go to a movie. Maybe we'll make it a horror movie, eh, Kev?
Yeah, let's make out, baby.
Yeah, he's gonna
I'm going to take you to the ring.
So that, other than having to pay, that sounds like a pretty nice. Can London I just come?
I mean, you guys can double date it if you want.
Sounds like a nice date to me.
Maybe what we should do then is you guys should bet on who do you think is going to win, and then we can double date it. So one of you can pay for the other guy to come along, tag along, be in the horse carriage behind us, and then we'll obviously go for dinner and then the movie.
As long as we agree when we make these games to keep them as fair as possible for both sides, no matter who we bet on, I'm in.
Okay, and if you do cheat, just don't get caught.
Okay, and I'll let you pick first.
I'll go with Mr. Ripped, Kevin Walsh.
Boom!
All right.
I got you, buddy.
I'll take Dustin.
All right. Let's go, partner.
Yeah.
Dustin versus Walsh is brought to you by the Unparalleled Clothing Company. Don't miss your chance to save up to $20 on select hats and apparel. Head to unparalleledpw.com now to check out Unparalleled's latest sale.
All right. So we already talked about a bunch. It's hockey season. You guys are big hockey fans, but how well do you know your local hockey? So we're going to play a little game called What the Puck. You get it?
I got it. Yeah, that was great.
All right, so we have 6 questions, but there is a chance to get up to 15 points. So we'll let you know in each question how many points it's worth. With a tiebreaker if needed, most points wins. Lundy, kick us off.
All right, this first question is for a potential of 4 points. Dustin Moore never played in the NHL, but many Red Deerians did. Who is the last Red Deer native to be drafted by an NHL team? And for 3 bonus points, name the year, team, and round he was drafted.
So I don't know how to exactly pronounce his name, and I'm sorry, but I believe it's Josh Murahara.
Mahura.
Not a Red Deer native.
No.
Oh, damn.
I saw you write that, and I was a little worried that I got it wrong. He was a Red Deer Rebel.
Yeah, and his cousin's from Red Deer,
so,
but not him.
And you said Anaheim, fifth round,
Anaheim,
2018.
5th round, 2018.
So you got 0 points.
Is it?
No.
No?
No, not even close.
Did you look at this?
Yeah.
Glenn Wesley to the Hartford Whalers in 1991 in the fourth
You think
round.
that was the most recent Red Deer?
I was hoping not, but that's the first one I could think of.
So
Yeah,
I
fair
actually
enough.
had the answer to this wrong at first, but you remember our friends, like Paul Postma?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or like was Colton Sevier. That
So-
was where
and
I was
those
gonna
guys aren't
go.
even the answer. Lundy, tell us who it is.
The correct answer was Andrew Nielsen.
Oh,
was
yeah.
drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs
in the sixth round
in the third round of
in 2017.
2015.
Oh, wow.
And a Calder Cup champion, too.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. My
Yeah.
original answer was wrong, and I went back because I had Sevier and Postma, and then I realized, I said, no, I think there's someone sooner.
What about
So
that?
And like, how about like Brandon Sutter as a first rounder? I know he's Sylvan Lake, but like, I probably should have come up
Yeah.
with a better answer than Glenn Wesley.
Yeah, you should have.
Hey, pressure gets everyone.
Some of these guys, like Glenn Wesley, retired before a lot of these.
You know
other
who
guys
else-
got
his
Hey,
name
that
is-
was a hard question, you guys.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
wrote it
we're
in
not
the
here to
past.
make you guys look good. We're here to learn. So here's an up to 3-point question. So Dustin and Lund both played for the Red Deer Senior Rustlers, which of course was a rebirth of the legendary Junior A franchise. A couple players from that team went on to not only play in the NHL but also to win a Stanley Cup. So which Junior Rustlers alumni was the last to win a cup as a player? 1 bonus point each if you can name the team and the year.
What in the convoluted hell is this hockey trivia?
Sorry, Aaron, it's not horse stuff.
Can we go back to PV Mart?
Yeah.
PV Mart, horse stuff, and a whole lot of shit.
Okay, so here's my real answer. Brent Sutter in
Nope.
Brian Sutter in 1989 with Chicago.
I just had Sutter.
Which is correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Smart.
I had 1983 in New York Islanders.
So, Dustin, your first answer of Glenn Wesley,
Okay, I was
who won
thinking
with
Glenn.
Carolina in 2005, right before his retirement. So I believe, the last Rustlers alumni playing at that time too. So a little tricky again because he was a little later than you might expect. So wow, 0-0.
Question number 3. 6 members of the legendary Sutter family all played for the Rustlers, and all 6 went on to play in the NHL. Can you name all 6? You get half a point for each person you name, and we need first and last names.
I believe I got all 7 brothers.
Well, we asked for 6, so you
know
get
that
0 points.
You're going to get minus half a point if you...
Just
wrote
write
7.
down B for Walsh and hope for the best. Okay, Walsh, go ahead.
I know I don't have them all. I have Brent, Brian, Daryl, Dwayne, Brock, and Dick.
So
You have 4 correct, so you get 2 points.
Brian, Brent, Rich, Ron, Daryl, Dwayne, and Dog.
Rich and Ron.
Rich. So
Fuck.
Dick wasn't even that far off. It's
Yeah, it's
short.
I
but
should get a point
I don't
for
think
that.
he goes by that
Half.
though.
Richard.
Sorry,
Quarter. I
sorry
give
what
you
did
a
you
quarter.
mean by dog?
There's a 7th brother that apparently is the best out of all 7
that
of them, but
never
never
did?
played.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran the farm.
All right, we'll give you all 3 points, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So 3-2 on that one. And here's one I think you're both going to get. Because as you may know, Mr. Ryan Lund is a provincials champion. What year did he lead the Red Deer Vipers to the Junior B provincial title? I assumed you led.
Oh, yeah, I led.
Led without a letter type, or did you have a letter that year?
Oh no, I didn't have a letter, but I led through determination, perseverance, and sheer will.
And I got a kind of a meet cute story
That was the one I
behind
was
this
thinking.
one too.
2005.
2006.
We have a tie game,
The correct answer is 2006.
Yeah.
What a change.
and just a cool thing. Lund, what else happened after provincials?
Got laid. No, I'm kidding. No.
Well, it would be cool if you did. You should. Junior B provincials, come on. But in all seriousness, it didn't end there for you guys.
No, it didn't. Just a short 10 years later, Ted, we had a 10-year reunion. Coincidentally
That's
enough.
not what I was thinking of either.
Didn't you win
Westerns? You guys won Westerns too. I think
I thought you were wanting to tell our meet cute story.
No, I was wanting to tell that story.
Oh my god. Okay, set me up again.
No, that's staying in.
No, you're
so
good.
Lund, they also won the Keystone Cup that year.
yeah,
So
we
that's
won
like
everything.
Westerns, yeah.
Which is pretty much national. We couldn't
Yeah.
go any further than we did.
So you peaked back in 2006.
Oh, yeah.
that was a good year.
It was just like you did with that lovely lady after you won provincials.
But So what Lund was alluding to as well is, in 2016, so I hadn't even been in Red Deer for a year, and Dustin and I were at, the Vipers were hosting provincials, and they had the 10-year celebration of that team, so that's why I remembered it was 2006, and that's the night Dustin introduced me to Lund. And
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, thank you.
And look where you guys are now.
Yeah.
What question are we on?
5 of 6.
Oh, 5.
Oh, 7. I have 6 here twice. So there are 7 questions and a bonus.
Oh, this changes my whole strategy.
Question 5. It's a 2-point question. Closest to on each of these answers. How many points did I have with the Vipers that year in 2006? And how many points did I have with the Red Deer Senior Wrestlers in 2019? Closest to wins.
How many games did you play with the Vipers?
Is this including playoffs and everything? Or
This is just regular season.
Just regular season. This is just according to the online stats.
Oh,
which,
they probably missed a ton of second assists.
Oh, yeah.
2006, I said 49. With the Wrestlers, I said 5.
Okay.
2006, I went 33, and in 2019, I went 4.
So in 2006, I was only credited with 22 points.
All right.
In 26 games.
In 2019, I was only credited with 2 points.
2 for me.
I know I had more than 2, but
No, we're not talking press box hot dogs.
yeah. So
it was a 2-point question with a 2-point answer.
and Dustin got the 2 points.
Let's go.
So 5-3.
Once again, I gave you too much credit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for thinking so highly of me.
Yeah. The 22 points in 26 games is pretty good.
I mean, I sat out a lot of games that year for the Vipers. So I was pretty big into badminton that year too. So.
You were a very good badminton.
Oh yeah. How
Yeah.
many smashes did I have in 2006?
Well, you had one right after provincials.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
All right. This is a 1-point question. So Dustin Moore and Ryan Lund both have pages on Elite Prospects and Hockey DB. For Dustin played Junior A, Western Hockey League. Lund played Junior B and Rustlers, so Senior AA, which for those who don't know what Hockey DB or Elite Prospects are, they're just statistical sites. So does Kevin Walsh, who played Junior B in Ponoka, have a page on at least one of those sites? And I asked this question because I'm not even sure if Kevin knows.
You got to Google yourself more, Kevin.
Yeah, no phones.
Oh, yeah, I don't do that.
Let's see who knows Kevin better.
I think I used to. So I don't know if I still do, but I'll say yes.
I also said yes.
So the answer is no.
Oh.
So sorry, man. There are Kevin Walshes on there, but I could not find you, which is surprising because usually like anything Junior B and up, but you're not on there right now, so maybe you need to write a letter.
Yeah, it was probably the.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about
manager.
it.
Hey, Rustlers are starting up. If you want to go skate in one game, you'll be on there. So it is still 5-3 going into the last question.
Who is the highest scoring Red Deer native to have played in the NHL? Bonus point if you can guess within 50 points of how many points he had.
I went with Kyle Pess, 0.
That is incorrect.
So you didn't even want to take a guess and try and okay. The door is wide open for you, Walsh.
I said Mike Moeller, 300 points.
That is wrong. It was Glenn Wesley with 537 points.
No way.
Yeah. So
Glenny.
Mr. Wesley again.
Oh, you really fucked
Dustin.
there, Walsh.
Win number 1.
1-0 lead.
All right. Well, at least that game A, we learned some stuff. I actually enjoyed researching this one and learning some stuff about Central Alberta hockey. I think we got a couple laughs out of that game.
Yeah, that was good research, Ted. And now we know who the best Red Deerians are.
Yeah, and since this episode's going to be so short, do you guys want to take a quick crack at the bonus question?
For science.
Yeah, and this is a good Red Deer bump for all of Central Alberta hockey. So if you wanted to go see a high level hockey game in Central Alberta, really, let's say anything junior hockey and above, and we're gonna say between Olds and Ponoka north to south, Rocky Mountain House to Stettler, well, I guess west to east. How many options do you have?
10.
7.
So the answer, and I could be wrong, but there's at least 13.
Oh, wow.
You would have won. If you would have made it overtime, you would have won.
Yeah. So there's the Olds Grizzlies, Olds College Broncos, Red Deer Senior Rustlers, Red Deer Vipers, Red Deer Kings and Queens, Red Deer Rebels, Sylvan Lake Wranglers, Lacombe Generals, Black Falls Bulldogs, Black Falls Wranglers, Rocky Rams, Stettler Lightning, and the Innisfail Eagles. So if you ever complain there's no hockey to watch around town, you are a big fat liar.
I'm well on my way to a carriage ride. That's all I know.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm not.
No,
Hey,
you'll be there.
Hey, it's just one game though, and wow, that's it. That might be the longest recording we've ever done. Anyways, that was a fun one again, and let me just keep stalling while I turn my page here. Round 1 of Dustin versus Walsh is in the books. Good thing I needed a script for that, and so is episode 17. And hey, I didn't warn anyone. This is anyone, because they're probably tired of hearing me say it. Does anyone want to take a crack at the end of episode spiel? I'm sure you're all listening very intently every time.
Yeah, I'll do it. All right, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Like Communal Creative Studios on all their platforms. We're presented by Bose Bar and Stage. Episode sponsor was a Red Deer Firefighters Children's Charity and Fire Calendar. Close
enough. Yeah,
Close.
You hit it. Yeah.
And we couldn't be more thankful for all our listeners. Give us a review, a positive one. Give all our restaurant friends a positive review. And thanks, Ted, for not talking in the end, because you talked way too much this episode. Boom!
Yeah.
And if you want to cheat on somebody, Ted's available this month. And he's still married, but it doesn't really count.
No, they're not doing the cheating.
Cheat win.
Maybe they are.
Cheat win.
Maybe they are.
Then
that's...
Oh, you're out.
All right, if you're single and you want to be a home wrecker, then Ted's available.
Would they wreck our home? Like,
I hope so.
yeah,
Lundy's looking for a new house.
let's not miss the point that Dustin absolutely nailed that.
He did.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
and
go.
I think that's it. Yeah, thank you to everyone, and we can go around and Dustin, keep going. Final thoughts.
Just
keep
take
going.
us out.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm easy now. I had a great night with you fellas. Another Thursday in the books. We're 17 in. Who would have thought we would have got to this point? I'm pretty excited to say that we've made it this far, and I've started not bringing scripts in. I think I'm a little more comfortable, and we're getting to a point where we can take this to the next level now. Let's onward and upward. Thanks to the Firefighters for allowing us a platform to do that at their event, and really looking forward to disappointing you guys.
I'm the opposite of Dustin. You guys are welcome for being able to view my body in all its glory. And I can't wait for the next one.
But just go to Bose at any given time. You'll see it again.
Yeah, and if you guys want a great cheese, you can do it off Kevin Walsh's abs right here. So... So we got something.
Anyone
for
else
all.
mishear
Yeah,
that? Like,
I
if
thought
you
you were
want to
talking-
buy some good cheese.
I was looking for you, say Gouda or Brie.
Oh, great! Oh no, I said it correctly. You guys just okay. Well, maybe we need to start that over.
No way.
Anybody want to eat some cheese off Kevin Walsh? But yeah, thanks for the great episode, guys. Thanks for the firefighters and the emergency services, and thanks for Steven for taking those photos. And yeah, I can't wait to be at that live event.
Thanks to you guys for coming up with that great game, and hopefully we all learned something about Red Deer hockey history. And if you haven't, watch Donnie Darko.
And just a reminder that those teaser videos are just that. There are some real good photos of these guys that are going to be released on social media coming soon. So keep an eye out.
Aaron, when you say it's just the tip of the hose,
I would not say that, but I am very glad that you did.
okay.